Ed.
Previously on Dark Heresy.
Yay!
Dericles continued chatting with Councillor Court a Brogue, and was invited to attend his own personal congregation of the Joyous Choir. Vlad and Mira learned that the Joyous Choir was set up around 5 years ago by someone called Karos Shoal, a wandering missionary that realised happiness was attainable for all, regardless of their lot in life. Shoal had a personal congregation of his own known as the Alabaster Court, a very exclusive temple, access to which is by invite only and for only the most true or sometimes influential people. Lord Outhwaite from Gunmetal told you that he placed no stock in the Joyous Choir, although he had been invited a number of times and turned them down. He also said he had his own temple, not of the Joyous Choir, back in Gunmetal, where he encouraged his workers to attend. He disliked the choir's exclusivity and attempts to get the rich and powerful to join.
Sounds quite racist to me.
Oh, it is. It's very racist. He also invited you all to join him on a hunting expedition on his personal retreat on Scintilla's moon of Sothis, and also offered to buy Dick's new Judge Slayer pistol. Ramsay then met with Lady Cleves having a smoke on the balcony and realised there was something wrong with her lungs. She seemed unusually friendly towards Ramsay for a member of the nobility, and her use of language and the occasional drop of her accent put Ramsay in mind of a midhiver rather than a noble. She warned the Ratling to be careful, as his status as an abhuman would not sit well with some of the party's guests. And she remarked to him that it was obvious to her that he was more than a simple valet. Ishmael, Mira and Vlad, meanwhile, chatted with someone called Miss Maylene Trun, a midhiver who had met Lady Borella by chance at some point and was somehow linked to the Joyous Choir. It seems she had done some work in helping spread the word of the choir down into the midhive. She seemed nervous around the nobility, obviously out of her depth. She had been chatting with a gentleman called Seraban, who was a scholar from off-world who studied at the Lexis Maxima. He was a student and author of military history, specifically regarding failed imperial military operations. What a thing to write a book about in the 41st millennium. He sought an introduction and audience with Lord Verence, the first man you met at the party who was a little bit of a creep. He wished to discuss the failed landings on the planet of Tranche, where a simple rebellion had spiralled into full-scale war against mutants, and he wished to gain the perspective of the senior sector lord on what had actually gone wrong on Tranche. Dick tormented the wizard, ruining his tricks and his hat, and after being slapped on the arse by the court jester, did something that would probably prevent the fool from ever siring any children. He also tried to get one of Lady Cleves' handmaidens to dance, but she disappointedly indicated she was currently on duty.
I was reading his Lady Cleavage's handmaiden.
Mira and Vlad.
That means I don't know what that means. Handmaidens, cleavage. I don't know.
Handmaiden. I've heard of a handmaiden's tale. It could be called Off Dick.
Oh, bollocks. What's happening here?
Off Dick.
Mira and Vlad, after partaking of some of the local drinks provided by Ramsay and Miss Maylene Trun, bounced onto the dance floor and failed hard, entangling themselves in one another's footwork and falling to the ground to the great mirth of many of the guests. Perhaps it was the lack of attention paid in their lessons, perhaps it was the rather strong Amasek. Ishmael investigated the message he had received from the axe he'd been given. It contained an invite to meet Magos Molos in a district called Silma de Nord, in industrial zones further into the hive. It seemed to suggest he had used probability to extrapolate who Ishmael really worked for, and offered a chance to meet to discuss an endeavour that may have mutual benefits to both the Magos and your current employer. Appetizers were then brought out, including some unusual green jelly shots which Dick and Dericles tried. They both began to feel a sense of euphoria. Dick, a little more than Dericles, in fact. And you could almost see the emotional connections between different guests. Almost like the web of fate. was being revealed to you in some extent. Vlad went to the toilet and used his powers to peer into the mind of Councillor Cortabrogue, discovering that he had some deal with Theodosia to bring him 3 more. Brogue seemed very scared of Theodosia, and Vlad also noticed that Dick and Derek seemed to be exhibiting a slight psychic aura at this time.
Green jelly.
Know if Ramsey was latently psychic. Never mind.
You then witnessed the spurring, in which a heavily drugged woman from the Midhive was dragged into a nonsensical reenactment of the play What the Servitor Saw. She seemed confused, but appeared to be treated well and was applauded by all present for her rather bizarre, nonsensical performance, and then was escorted out by Lady Borella's manservant and given a small pouch of something. As the performers left the stage, the band struck up once more, and the assembled nobility began to pair off into one of the dances Julia had taught you. A simple dance, but one which involves the switching of partners from time to time. And you learn from Julia that this is a prime opportunity for guests to mingle with one another and to talk, unobserved, of matters of a more personal or clandestine nature, as the music drowns out all but the loudest of conversations. Okay, so, Vladimir, you are currently still at -10 to all stats, and you have 2 levels of fatigue.
Very good.
Mira is at -10 to all stats, and at 1 level of fatigue. Dick and Dericles, you are both currently...
Not fatigued. Wankered.
My fridge has just started making a really weird noise. You are currently at +10 fellowship,
Yeah, -30 willpower.
-20 willpower,
Oh, sorry, yeah.
and -5 intelligence. However,
Okay.
you feel the effects of whatever it was you had in the jelly are beginning to wear off.
Oh no, get them off.
Alright. Sorry, T was.
Okay, it's around 10 p.m. in the mansion, which definitely isn't a clone of part of Lady Mesmeron's mansion, because I wouldn't be that lazy. What is this doing? There we go. Zoom that out a bit. Yeah, I wish I had opened that up now. So I've moved everyone on the map to where they are for this first dance. You can see Julia Strophs is dancing with Cyprit Danine, who is the gentleman that she's been flirting with a little bit throughout the night. Lady Borella is with the rather creepy Lord Verence. Vladimira, who are in the centre there. Sorka Outhwaite, the man from Gunmetal, is dancing with Maylene Trun, the nervous midhiver. Cedric de Ballbag, as you've christened him, is dancing with someone you haven't spoken to yet, Lady Anastasia Redstream. Lady Cleves is dancing with Lord William Balderdown. Everyone else is around here. So, the band eventually reassembles themselves on the stage and strikes up a jaunty tune. The vast majority of the nobles have paired off and take to the centre of the ballroom as they begin to sway and spin very slowly, dancing around each other in this dance that you recognise from your training. And you see they begin to chat in their little couples as they do so. Around the edge of the dance floor, various hangers-on, entertainers, bodyguards and the like stand around, watching their masters and mistresses and chatting amongst themselves. Father Lunadria, who you haven't spoken to, Serban and Councillor O'Brogue do not dance. They stand over by the stage with Dericles. Now, this is part of the dance ritual. That basically means you are interested in dancing. And people can come to you, or, you know, it is polite to step in and talk, ask politely if you can dance with someone, but you do have to be careful not to pick someone who might be offended that you are delving above or maybe even below your station. Okay. So, what? Yeah. He's not tonight. No. He's going to be in a minute. I just haven't set him going yet. So the way we're going to do this, you can do pretty much what you want while you're on the dance floor. You can use that opportunity to maybe get close to certain couples and maybe try and listen into what they're saying. Those of you not on the dance floor could perhaps do a similar thing if you were close enough. Or you could even talk to the bodyguards, the people that aren't in the dancing. It's entirely up to you. But, Dick,
Yes.
you approached
That woman that turned me down.
the handmaiden.
Outside.
Mm.
Yeah. Like
So
the
before we
house
go any further, let's deal with that. So you step over to her, and I don't remember if you said something or not, but let's assume you didn't and take it from there.
All right.
So,
Everything's up.
okay.
Hello, my dear. Hello, my dear. I was wondering if you would like to try and dance with me again. Seems as everybody else is. You seem like a divine partner, and I love the swing of your hips.
She gives you a soft smirk, a friendly smirk. And you see her glance over your shoulder towards the dance floor. I would like you to make a charm test. And because of things, you gain a plus 20 to this, and that's on top of the plus 10 that you currently get. So plus 30.
I'm a fucking smooth talking bastard. Naturally, in real life. Just rubs off from what I do.
You're absolutely right. You see her still smiling, still looking over your shoulder, and she gives a soft, almost imperceptible nod and says, "I'll be delighted." And there's a hint of an accent there that you recognise from some of the mid-hivers you'll have spoken to in your time in Scintilla. She seems like a local lass.
She sounds like a dude. That's not gonna put me off.
I was going to say, you only hold the goal when you're Dick.
Yeah. Dick don't mind. Dick swings. Dick just blows any way the wind goes.
Okay, so if you'd like to move onto the dance floor wherever you are, I will put Lady Cleave's handmaiden there as well.
It's an easy charm. He's done some really good charming. This
What is this doing?
it's like hands. It's like I get all my luck with Dick. Nobody else.
You get all your luck with Dick, do you? Oh.
That one part of the recording.
Yeah.
I get all my luck with Dick.
Yeah.
Dick.
Probably
Dick.
like.
I'm gonna,
Handmaiden, Dick.
I'm gonna sample it. I'm gonna sample it, set it as Hayden's ringtone, and I'm also gonna use it in my band's next recording.
All my luck with Dick. Handmaiden, Dick.
Right, the Watcher in the Dark is back in action. Okay, right. So, as you take to the floor, the handmaiden comes over with you. Ramsey,
Yeah,
you also approached a handmaiden, did you not?
I did. Yeah.
The one that you met out with.
Rattling.
Yeah. Okay.
Is that another rattling handmaiden?
No, they're not rattlings, they're humans. Okay, so what would you like to say?
Hello, my dear. Would you care for a little dance, one professional to another?
Again, you see, she glances to the side. Make a perception check, James, because of where you're stood. You might see what she's looking at. It's sight-based. So awareness, sorry, not perception.
Oh, I need to again. One sec.
Oh, you get a +10 to this as well, sorry.
I think it should be a +20 for that pistol action. They just did. That was like, that was fucking awesome. Like, I would have danced for you, James. You know what I mean?
Dance all night.
All night.
There we go. That's better.
Coming in. Taking a long time to load.
Oh. Yeah, it's not come through on either of mine yet. Let's get rid of that. I don't need that there. I don't need you.
There we go.
Okay. It's still not come through on mine.
Yeah, it's loading up.
Why has that made that bigger? That's weird.
Stop playing
Names
with it.
only.
Get back down, Dave.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, you're right. It's reduced dramatically. It's not come through, James.
No, I've only just loaded in there.
Oh, right. Sorry, I thought you were. I thought we were having technical difficulties.
So is this 10 from bonus site, or is it just a random bonus?
This is another +10 that you've got on top of your site bonus and anything else you would have. You see her glance, and she's looking straight across the dance floor at Lady Cleaves, and you notice Lady Cleaves has just given a nod to the handmaiden that's dancing with Dick, and then she straight away looks across to the other handmaiden that's you're talking to, smiles, and gives a nod. She isn't trying to hide this from you. You get the impression that she's probably giving permission.
Yeah.
So if you'd like to position yourself wherever you'd like to be on the dance floor.
Okay. I will, of course, give Lady Cleaves a little knowing wink.
Where's my... There it is.
Bloody hell am I?
You're down the bottom of the map. Okay.
Hey, where would one place oneself? Just in the corner? Where's Lady? What's her name? Cleaves handmaiden there. Where's Lady Cleaves?
Lady Cleaves is just above Dick.
Terrible. Terrible man.
Love my name.
Right. Okay, one sec.
Easily my best named character.
Drink the ball bag.
With Dick. They should dance. Dick and the ball back.
Good ball.
Okay. Let's put you two there then. Okay.
The powers combine.
Ishmael, you're currently standing there along the bottom edge of the dance floor. Where would you like to be positioned?
So, the left-hand side is that you want to dance.
Yeah, if you go and stand over on the left-hand side by the stage where the band is, that means you are willing to dance. If you stand around it, the other side, it basically means you're not that interested. But you can talk to the other people that are around, of course.
Let me have a quick look. Where is that?
Who are you looking for?
Someone can maybe over here to say no. I think everyone's dancing.
Dancing, yeah.
My thing is, he got audio.
I think it's just video, isn't it? Because it was just
I
eyes.
think so, yeah.
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 It's just eyes on a bionic hand, isn't it, basically? So.
Yeah, I've got some dancing who can't dance.
I mean, you can. There's no reason you can't try. You just
I'm
haven't had the
really
lessons.
robot,
Yeah.
other than that.
Dance like Gandalf with your fucking stick.
Yeah, man.
The tech.
Gandalf, listen.
I might just go and stand near Derek, but not actually in such a way that I'm not
Okay. Yeah.
ready to dance on it. Let me just try and move. From there, I don't mean I want to dance, does it?
Ishmael.
Okay.
Are you inviting me? Are you inviting me?
No.
So, Ishmael's there. Derek, you're currently on the side that says you want to dance. A partner may come and find you. You can always try and find a partner. Is there anything you'd like to be doing while this first part of the dance takes place?
I was going to say that to Ishmael. Say, Ishmael, feeling a bit dancey tonight?
No, mate.
A man of the cloth a man of the cloth and a member of the Mechanicum? What will the neighbours say?
Could they be friends? Perhaps more?
I'll bring my scriptures, you bring your mechadendrite. What a nice What are those for exactly, anyway?
He hasn't got mechadendrites. Yeah.
As you know.
No.
No, it's
What
not
have I
for
got?
you.
You've got an arm. I think you've got the one arm cybernetic, haven't you? And then some innards and bits and pieces.
Would you like to see my
I'll say that.
cyber mantle?
I was giggling.
Electro inductors?
Would it be an
I've
appropriate
got some finger probes.
or something for another time?
I've got some finger probes.
Well, if you show me yours, I'll show you mine.
God, I wish I had a drink for this.
Sorry, Derek, I don't dance.
Just finger probes.
Just
Finger probes.
okay.
Another time.
This isn't what I meant by dark heresy.
The good book forbids it, so I'm just going to slap the big book on my side.
Okay.
Open the page and just scroll down. The Emperor forbids random fingering on the dance floor.
So we're going to go round. Going to go round each of you now for this first part of the dance and see what everyone would like to do. I'll start with, because they're together, Vlad and Mira. Is that okay, Mira? Yes, that's okay, guys. Okay. So, Vlad, we'll start with you. This dance is taking place. You're in between Lady Borella, Lord Verence, Sorcat and Maylene Trun. Cedric the Ballbag's not far away either. He's now called that. So, what would you like to do? Let's start off with a little dancing. So I would like you first to make your roll to see if you can remember the dance. You get a +5 to your intelligence for this.
But I'm still a minus 10 on.
You are, yeah. Okay. Okay, so you're struggling to remember the moves. I'm going to do the same for Mira since we're at that stage.
We've already embarrassed ourselves trying to the
Mira does it.
Oh no, you could get far worse than you have done so far.
Mira is also at -10, so
we basically fell on the floor.
I know. That's pretty bad, yeah. That's about as bad as you can get in this thing.
so that's Mira's roll.
It's like a model falling off a catwalk, you know.
Okay,
You know,
so
somebody doing gymnastics and then just landing on the face and then standing up and going.
luckily for you, Vlad, Mira's high intellect and good memory has actually managed to sort of aid you a little bit. She's sort of guiding you through the moves and the spins and the turns, almost masking your complete lack of remembering any of it. I'd also like you to make an agility roll for the actual physical dancing. This is at -5, so it'll be -15. Mira also has to do one. And she's also at -15.
I'm with it.
So this will be amazing. Okay, so between the pair of you, you do remember the moves, but you're still a little giddy. Mira's not quite as clumsy as you. It's not as a high impact dance as the previous one, so you don't fall to the floor and make complete fools of yourself, but you are still getting a little tangled up and shuffling around a little awkwardly. You're not doing great. So while this dance is going on, what would you like to be doing?
Alright, I guess I'll try and take advantage of the position and try and listen in to Varen and
Okay.
Oh, Brody, I like your partner.
Well, Mickey.
So,
Comes and sits
We're eating on that.
killing him.
I want you to make an awareness test, Vlad, with a just a sec. With +25. What would Mira's be? Okay. And while that's happening, what would you like Mira to be doing? Since she stood with you, you can decide what she's doing.
barely consider one person. I'm just going to bother off and see what
I don't think I should do that.
Oh, you should.
No, I definitely shouldn't because I know far too much about what's going on.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
so, well,
Alright, I'll be.
move on to someone else now. I'll have a little think about it.
Okay, right. So I'll do with what you overhear as these two are talking, with that very good awareness roll. You hear Lord Verence begin, and he says, "I say, Lady Borella, quite a party you throw. I particularly enjoyed that little green drink. What was it called?" And as they turn, you hear Lady Borella say, "It's nothing, my lord. Just a little imported amasec laced with drusfern." You would have no idea what drusfern is.
Walrus.
Then Verence says, "Bloody good stuff. You've made some interesting additions to this evening's guest, I must say. Priests, scholars, bloody Cleves." And you hear the distaste in his voice for Lady Cleves. "Rathian, you must settle your differences with Wendy. She's a good woman. Her service prior to her marriage alone is exactly marriage. She doesn't belong here, Tanne. She's a commoner, playing at being better than she really is. All her stuff are hideous. Women with arms like those that belong in a circus, lifting things, not in a courtroom." Make another awareness test. At +10 this time. You hear Lady Borella say, "Raffian, keep your voice down. You know what happened last time." And then they begin to mutter, and you don't quite hear the rest of the conversation.
Okay, I guess for Mary then, we'll try overhearing on the right-hand side.
Okay, so
Lee, Tron and Sorkat. Is he the...
Socket Althwaite. No, he's the guy from Gunmetal. So Mira gets a, it would be a plus 30, but it'll be a plus 20 because, no, yeah, that's right. It would be a plus 20 because of her inebriation. Mira fails. Mira is struggling to keep her feet, concentrate on the dancing a bit, wobbling a little. She, where's the... She does hear Sorkat say, "Relax, Miss Trum, there's no need to be all jittery." She says, I'm sorry, my lord, it's just that, well, nothing. Please, call me Sorkat. I ain't no fan of titles and such. Then it disappears, lost, drowned in the music. Ramsey,
Yeah.
you are dancing with one of Lady Cleave's handmaidens. What would you like to do while you're dancing with her? You can talk to her, or you can try and listen in on someone, whatever you'd like to do.
I'll just make small talk. Oh yeah, let's listen in to people. While Oh yeah, I'm listening to what Cleve has got to say.
Lady Cleaves. Okay. Make an awareness test. You'll only get a plus 10 for this. It's not sight-based. She's got her back to you, so you wouldn't be able to lip read. Is Hayden fighting with some inanimate object in his kitchen? Or something? I just saw something flailing about and Hayden going...
That's
Right.
One, Dave.
Wow, okay. As per Alan's inspired rules, you get a little more. First of all, you hear Lord William Balderdown, who you haven't met yet, and I apologise in advance for this accent. You hear him say, "Oh, may you're strong for a lass! Those arms!" And Lady Cleve says, "Well, I'll take that as a compliment, my lord." "And ye should! Aye, it were meant as one. Aye, it were. Black mare of the women are all pasty-faced weaklings there." And she says, "I'm not surprised with the business around Saris Hive and the things that wander your world." "What do ye know about Saris Hive?" "More than I should, my lord, but let's not talk about our differences and our places of origin. What brings you to Scintilla?" "Ah, a wee irregularity in the family's finances. Nothing exciting. But while I'm here, I've been poking around the cathedral in Tarsus, trying to get a look at the original copy of the Scintillan Dictates, but no joy." "I'm sorry, the Scintillan Dictates? I'm not familiar." He says, "Ah, dinny worry about it, lass. Boring historical documents." And Ramsey, because of your one, you had a chance of knowing what these documents were. You do know what they are. The Scintillan Dictates are a series of documents, almost like an instructional manual, that are handed out to new acolytes and agents of the Inquisition. You have all read them. You maybe didn't know that's what they were commonly referred to. They were basically just given to you as instructional things to read. But you have somewhere along the line learned that that's what they're collectively known as. It appears Lord William Balderdown is trying to read them for some reason.
And what were they instructional then?
Basically on how to behave, how to spot heresy. It's the sort of stuff that wouldn't be made public to the general population. You know, the general population don't have much idea about demons, aliens, and heretics existing. Never mind the threat that they represent. These documents are basically like, be on the lookout for he with the mark of the demon, and all this sort of fancy shit. And that's what these documents are that he's been trying to gain access to. It's not as much forbidden knowledge. It doesn't go into detail very much. That's for later in your training. It's basically like it's like the Inquisition's equivalent of the Imperial Infantryman's uplifting primer.
Okay, yeah.
Is the best way to describe it.
Is it the Idiot's Guide to the Inquisition?
Yeah, basically. It's like, don't commit heresy, don't fuck the Eldar, and don't summon demons, is basically a very long-winded version of saying that.
Okay.
Respect your Inquisitor. I do have some text on it somewhere, but I've lost it. And it's things like, respect your Inquisitor, respect the Holy Ordos, do as your master says unquestioningly, for his secrets are his own and not for your eyes, and all that sort of dramatic fucking grimdark wank. While this is going on, because of your good roll, the handmaiden chats to you as well. And you sort of pick up a few bits of what she's saying, but you're not really paying that much attention because you're listening to Cleves and Lord Boulderdown. But you do pick up a few little details, and she tells you that her name is Mariah. And she's been a handmaiden of Lady Cleves for a period of time that I have written down, for about 5 years. And before that, she was a member of the 23rd Scintillan Fusiliers, also known as the Hive Jaggers. Do you have any common law guard type skill?
Hi, I think the term is Jaegers.
Not on this world, it isn't.
Have they got the moves like Jagger?
Yeah, you've just fucking ruined my joke. Johnny, you're at -20 to everything for the rest of the night.
Oh,
No, you're not really. You bastard! You ruined my fucking. Yeah. Anyway, well, yeah. Roll a common law Imperial Guard test if you've got that.
I don't know.
Do you have Imperium?
No, the only common I've got is tech.
Oh, okay. Right. So you wouldn't have heard of them. You might have heard of the really good joke that I spent a good few minutes writing that you'll never hear now. Anyway.
do it anyway.
Yeah, no, fuck you. Okay. So unless there's anything you'd like to say to her, I'll move on to something else.
I'm sorry, Grandma.
No, I'll just
Said
compliment.
Jagger.
You'll do what, sorry?
I'll compliment her.
Okay.
Non-hairy feet.
Compliment them on their noble background.
Okie dokie. And she smirks and says, yeah, noble background. Mm.
Well, no, I mean like the nobility of coming from the soldiers.
Ah, right.
background.
Okay. She takes the compliment quite well. I need you to do some dancing for me. So,
Try.
Ramsey, to remember this dance, you will get a +5 to your intelligence. And you will also get a, bizarrely for you, -20 to your agility. You didn't do so well on the practical side of it.
No. What dancing? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Shit.
Okay. Okay, so you're a little clumsy.
That rather than re-roll that. One sec. Oh no, I don't won't get it back either.
You're a little clumsy, but what's amazing is that Mariah, as she's named herself, is even worse than you. She can. It's not that she doesn't remember the dance. She doesn't know the fucking dance, and she's trying to be led by you, but you're kind of making a bit of a scene because you don't know it either. She's also a bit clumsy. She is quite a bulky woman. She's not built for speed as such. She's very muscular, and she finds it quite amusing that both of you are pretty terrible at the dancing. She rolled 100 for her remembering the dance, so she doesn't know it at all. Okay. Over to Mr. Pincher.
Hello.
What are you doing during this dance?
Well, I'm having a little bit of a yarn with this woman.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna just ask her what it's like being up here all the time. Explain the fact that I'm just not from one of these planets.
Well, you're referring to the upper hive.
The upper hive, yeah, how to finding it. It's all new to me. I'm also going to mention that they're pompous bunch of pricks, aren't they?
Okay, I want you to make a charm test. With a plus something. It'll be a 5.
98.
And a... Where's she gone? It'll be a plus 15.
Plus 15.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Okay.
Is it fate point worthy?
No.
She tells you that she too is not particularly used to this sort of environment, despite the fact she's worked for Lady Cleaves for 5 years as a member of her entourage, as she puts it. She also tells you that before this, she was... all right there? She also tells you that she was a member of the 23rd Scintillant Fusiliers. I don't think you've got any relevant skills to that, have you? You haven't got like common law guard or anything. So,
Sorry.
but she does tell you. She served alongside a number of nobility. While she served in the 23rd during the war on Tranche.
Tranche war again.
Well, that's about all she tells you.
Okay.
Are you listening into anyone or anything while this is going on?
In and bust some moves with it.
Yeah, so let's do the dancing first.
Intelligence test.
An intelligence test first, and you will get a -10. So it'll be a -20 in total. Wow.
I don't remember shit.
Okay, so you don't really remember the dance.
I'm going to ad-lib it.
People are starting to notice that you people don't seem to know the dances. But then again, you are from Fink's world.
Trips over his dick.
And then make an agility test for me at
What?
plus 55.
See if I can skip my dick. Plus 55.
So, yeah,
I pass.
you don't know the dance. You haven't got a clue what this dance is. Neither has she on a 98.
Wow.
54's not that great for her. It doesn't matter you don't know the dance. You are throwing shapes. You are busting moves. She's enjoying it. And she's starting to freestyle a little bit with you. Some of the lords and the ladies are starting to... What are those two doing?
Higher Camphian.
Doing-
around the fire.
Doing the tribal dance.
Yeah, I'm off for it.
She's joining you.
Terrible what real partnering's about.
She's joining in with your dance. She's mimicking you as best she can. She's having a good time, but some of the lords and ladies around you seem to be. What on earth are these commoners doing? This is outrageous.
I'll open up the crow father's going to come in a second if Karen dance.
Yes.
Make
Father.
an awareness test for me, please, Dick.
Awareness.
It'll be at -10 for your inebriation.
-10. You can do it, Dick. You're feeling pretty buzzed up. No, nearly.
Nearly. Okay. So, during this nonsensical two-person rave, with whatever you took coursing through your veins, is there anything else you'd like to be doing?
Listening.
To
Anybody.
no, you've got to tell me who you're listening to.
I'm going to try and listen to. Got to zoom in now. Thanks. Oh, let's see. Who we've been listening? We listened to Mr. Ballbag last time, didn't we?
No, Ramsey listened to Cleves and Boulder Down.
Okay, I'm going to listen to Mr. Ballbag.
Ballbag and Lady Anastasia Redstream.
Yeah. Oh, wait, awareness test, yeah?
Yep.
-65.
Your awareness test actually will be just a sec. It'll be a straight awareness test. You get a +10, but you'll have a -10 for your inebriation.
Aha!
Okay.
Very good.
Right, and you hear Lady Anastasia Redstream say, "An explorer, you say, how interesting and exciting. You must have seen so many worlds." And Cedric de Ballbag says, "More than you could possibly imagine, mon chéri. The savannah plains of Cyrus Vulper, the filthy swamps of Strank, the fortress of Monras, the ruins of Eldar civilizations on a world without name, the long-dead cities on vigil, a forbidden world where none may tread unless you have the right connections." And Lady Anastasia goes, "Forbidden? Oh my! Did you break the law to go there?" He says, "No, no, my petit pois, my explorer, my employer has this special dispensation to travel to such worlds. We are fully sanctioned by the Lord Hax himself." Make another awareness test at a +10 this time.
Mr. Ballbag, you sound like a heretic. Yes, intently listening on him now.
And she says, "Lord Hax, well, it sounds like you've had quite an exciting life traveling around this sector, Mr. Ballbeck." And he says, "Indeed I have, mon chéri, indeed I have, but it pales compared to what we saw in the Reach." The Reach? Oui, the Reach, the Jericho Reach, a distant region far from here, but there is a secret path, a gateway, huge. It hangs in silence at the edge of the sector, Xenos in design, made entirely from a strange black metal. The Jericho Gate, as they call it. We pass through and touch the soil of worlds never before seen, at least not by human eyes. Oh, Mr. Ballbeck, I do believe you are pulling my leg. And he says, "Oh, perhaps, mon joli tête d'air. Perhaps. But do not let such things trouble." No, my pretty airhead. "Perhaps, but do not let such things trouble your mind. They are far from here, and they cannot harm your pretty head."
Forget my mum was French teacher, Dave.
I didn't forget. I didn't know until now, but now I do. So next time I'm gonna pull out the Russian. Next time, Меня два кошки. I have 2 cats.
All you need to know.
Yeah, that's literally it. And that, of course. Okay. Next up, we shall go over to Ishmael.
Great. Can I overheard like the councillor, Court of Org and the Francis Lunderez.
Councillor Court-Brogue is currently not talking to Father Lunadria, but Father Lunadria maybe is talking to someone. Let me just see.
Would I be able to overhear from where I am with my robotic
He's
ears?
put Venus away. Was it Francis Lunier?
Lunadria.
Lunadria.
No.
That's what I said.
Father Lunadria is actually talking to the two gentlemen that stand by him, who look like clerics of the same order. They have the same symbols on their robes. You suspect they may be a part of his congregation or his minions of some kind, for want of the word I was looking for. But
Puts Willie away.
you can try and listen to them if you'd like.
Yes, I will give it a go.
Okay, so you're a little bit further away. There'll be a straight awareness test. While I find the fucking page. Oh.
Wow. It's not bad for me.
He says, whatever you do, if that a rogue man tries to talk to me or dance with me, make up something. And the junior cleric says, make up something, Deacon? What do you mean? He says, some excuse to get me away from him. I don't want any part of his bloody nonsense. Bloody happy bloody clappers, bloody mincing around on Scintilla. Can't stand the bastards. And the junior cleric goes, "Oh, of course, Deacon. It would be my pleasure to serve you." He says, "Yes. Stop grovelling. Just do as I ask." Make another awareness test.
Right. Oh, just a fail, slightly.
Okay. Yeah, you don't hear any more than that. Derek.
Down my robot ears.
Who's the deacon?
The guy that's Father Francis Lunadria. They called him Deacon. Anything else you want to be doing while listening in? Because, it's not an active thing. You can be doing other stuff at the same time.
Not much I can really be doing, I don't think. No.
Okay. Dericles,
Yes.
what would you like to be doing?
I'm just going to move away from Ishmael. No offense, Ishmael. I'm just going to move away from Ishmael and just move up a second and try and get a bit closer to that, what do you call it, that Zezraban or whatever. And just
Yeah.
sort of stand near him.
Yeah, I mean, you can move. This is over a period of a few minutes, so you can move pretty much wherever you want. So, are you approaching him in conversation, or just
No.
standing near him?
I'm just going to stand near him
Okay.
and look out at the dance.
Okay. Saraban looks at you sideways and says,
I'll give him a nod.
"Greetings, brother, father. Do you have a title?
Brother.
Interesting. And your order? Which order do you represent?"
Which order do I represent? I can't remember.
Order of the Righteous Flame.
Yeah, something like that. You're a redemptionist, aren't you? So,
The Order of the Righteous. My son.
there is actually a proper name for it.
Blessings of the Emperor be upon you. Is your soul pure?
There is a proper name for it. Whatever it is, are you telling him the proper name or are you making one up?
I'm gonna. What is the proper name?
I can't remember. Don't want a repeat of Iacanthos. I will warn you that might be a bad idea. Let me just have a look. I think it's in Blood of Mart.
He might not have heard of it.
Yeah, exactly. Just a second, I might be able to find it. Redemptionist.
Cauldron, Johnny.
Thank you. I've got these boots on that I've been messing about with today. Armored boots.
All right.
I'm just wearing at the moment. They're actually fully articulated. I'll take one off to show you.
No, I can't find it.
Order of the Blessed Flame.
Yeah.
That's
So
I've been working.
so is that your?
Yeah. Just wearing them for the hell of it at the moment.
Yeah. Well,
feel like
that's
a
one thing, when
space
people
marine.
lap things, very few people have lapped like the shoes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We really take it to the next level, don't we, Hayden?
I
the lap.
pride myself on having lap footwear.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't do.
You can't call yourself Mad Boots Marley and have no boots.
Yeah. You can't be mad trainers, Marley. 'Cause that just-
No. I'm Mad Trainers Marley. I'm Mad Crocs Marley.
So
Yeah, Mad Crocs Marley.
just to clarify, Johnny, is that what you want your order to be called, or are you just making that up for his benefit?
I'm going to make that. That's what I want it to be called, yeah.
Okay, it's all right. Right, so we'll try and remember that from now on.
Anything. It doesn't necessarily mean we like to burn.
No.
Just,
They're always called shit like that, aren't they?
yeah. It's just a polite way of saying burn the wick.
Yeah.
What's the name of your order?
Order of the Blessed Flame, my son.
Okay. He says, it is must be a lesser order, perhaps. I am familiar with many of the major orders, but I mean no disrespect, of course. There are so many, especially on Scintilla.
It is a small and private order originating from Thanksworld.
Ah, Fengsworld. Yeah, yes. You travelled here with your master from Fengsworld, I recall.
I have indeed. Have you met my lord and lady?
Very briefly, I met them. I had the pleasure of their acquaintance, yes. An interesting...
Wonderful people.
They seemed
Pure
quite
souls.
nice. They,
Pure souls.
just a sec. Says, yes, I only spoke with them briefly. They warned me I should steer clear of Lord Verence for some reason, which is a shame, because I have been trying to meet him for some time, and the opportunity finally presents itself.
Will he not attend you? Will he not give you an audience?
He looks towards the dance floor and says, well, I'm about to see, aren't I? The change is soon.
Do you think he will dance with you?
Well, there's only one way to find out, isn't there, my new friend? And he seems very keen to dance with Lord Verence.
One moment, I'm just going to look into my book on book of Heresy. I'm like, one moment. Heresy, chapter 5, 6, 7. Thou wilt not dance with another man. Thou wilt not try and hold him round the waist. And I'm just going to close it and not say this to him. And I'm like, do what you must. I just step back and just gesture to the floor.
Okay. Give me a fellowship test or a charm test if you have charm.
I don't know if I've got charm. I've got fellowship though.
Yeah.
Fellowship.
Fairly good fellowship, I believe.
Yeah, it's decent. It's probably one of his best things apart from his weapon skill. Yeah, fellowship 42, so I'll have to go for that.
Ooh.
Is my fellowship better now that? Oh no, I'm gonna re-roll it.
Oh yeah, you've got a plus 20, so you'd still have failed.
Yeah, I'm gonna re-roll it with a fate point.
Okay.
It's worth a re-roll because I want to just see this guy get absolutely snubbed by this lord. It's funny. Yeah,
Oh. Okay.
I'm not going to tell him that the guy he's going to approach might know that it's absolute heresy for him to be approached by this. I just think it'd be more amusing to watch.
But you don't know if it is absolute heresy.
No, I don't. Everything goes here, apparently.
He says, "Oh, thank you, my new friend. And your name was?"
Derek Key.
Deracles.
The Illuminate.
A very fitting name. I will look into this Order of the Righteous Flame. Is it? It is a. I like knowledge. I absorb knowledge. I must read.
Knowledge, I find, tends to absorb us all. Just the right kind of knowledge. Fill your mind with righteous thought. Will you do that? Will you do that for me?
He says, I will, and perhaps if I learn all there is to learn. And he points to his ear and says, I will gain a new token. And you see down his left ear, all the way around the ridge of his ear, there are rings of different coloured metal, different materials and different colours. And on his right ear, he's only got 2 or 3.
That's quite cool.
You wouldn't know what those are.
No.
There's no way you'd know what they are.
But I imagine they are some sort of markings of knowledge, like and you know what he's adept in and what he knows, what he's knowledgeable in.
Okay.
I imagine. A bit like wearing a degree on your ear.
It's more convenient than hanging parchment from your ear.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like that.
So.
Thesaurus.
Like a CV, then, is it?
Yeah.
On his ear.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wearing dictionaries as earrings is like, you know.
After
more stylish.
After around 10 minutes or so of dancing and chit-chat, a bell chimes, rung by one of the musicians. And the various dance partners smile and bow to one another. And you were taught this in your lessons by Julia. This is the change. And then gracefully, or as gracefully as they can, in the case of some of the more inebriated ones, they begin to move around the dance floor. New pairings are formed as the dancers switch partners. I'll give you a couple of minutes to think about who you'd like to switch with, what you'd like to try and do, while I just grab a drink.
I'm gonna try dancing that guy will want to dance the Lord.
I just heard that laugh and I thought, mischief, but...
Yeah, I want to see what this guy does. I want to see what happens when this guy tries to approach the guy that he wants to approach. I don't think it's gonna go very well at all. I think he might even get a slap across the face with like a leather glove or something like that. I don't know.
Challenge him to a duel.
Possibly a duel, or you know, have his bodyguards removed. It's gonna be interesting to see if this guy will actually give him an audience or not. Because if he's been trying for some time, the guy might not want to speak to him. One of those.
Might be trying to avoid him on purpose.
Yeah, I believe so. So I want to see.
Not getting any money out of me. Dance salesman.
Okay.
Goes up, dances with people, and then does the James Gunn dance out of Silence of the Lambs, like the cock between his legs, but has watches or like things for sale, and he opens like the I don't know. Is anybody else on the same page there? No, it was
I kind of hear what he's saying, but
Right.
Would you dance with me? I'd dance with me. That sort of thing, you know, but with sales, could sorry, I was just going into that too far.
Right.
I'd like to share that with you all.
You see one or two of the lords and ladies pause for a moment as they begin to look around at the assembled options of partners. Dick and Ramsay, the two handmaidens you dance with, both politely smile and bow to you, thank you for their dance, but state their break is now over, and they must return to their duties of watching over their mistress. Both of you make a fellowship test at plus 10, but if you have charm, I would like to make a charm test at plus 20.
Yeah, 3.3 success.
Nice.
3.5. 99. Nearly fluffed it.
Hey!
Where's Ramsay?
That's where the ice cream man rocks up.
Yeah. Oh, they're gone.
Okay.
With a flake.
Okay.
For a cornetto.
as you begin to cast your eyes around, all of you, deciding what you're about to do next, Lady Wendy Cleaves suddenly appears in front of you, Ramsay, and turns to your dance partner and says, "May I cut in, Mariah?" Mariah, the handmaiden, raises an eyebrow in surprise, but you can't help notice the wry smile on her face, and she says, "But of course, my lady." Lady Cleaves, who is a tall, muscular woman, places one hand on Ramsay's shoulder, and the other reaches down, and down, and down a bit further, and takes hold of Ramsay's free hand. They make quite an odd couple on the dance floor. Lady Cleaves is well over 6 foot. Ramsay is, well, Ramsay. Unless you would like to reject her offer of a dance, of course, Ramsay.
Of course, I would never do such a thing. I will say, pleasure to meet your acquaintance, Mariah.
And she smiles at you as she walks away. So, Vlad, would you like to choose a new partner, or would you like to carry on with Mira? What would you like to do?
Yeah, I guess I'll choose if I was gonna fight. Who are the noble ladies then? Who's like people of suitable rank?
The noble ladies, obviously there's Julia Strophs, there's Lady Borella, who is the hostess of the party. There's Maylene Tron, who isn't a noble woman, she's just a pleb. Lady Cleaves is obviously dancing with Ramsay. We'll deal with that in a moment. Ramsay, while we're doing this, if you want to move wherever you'd like to dance with Lady Cleaves, she will follow your lead. Al, there's also Lady Anastasia Redstream, who's this one here that I've just moved.
Fucking names, man, blow my mind.
There's also there's a couple of handmaidens dancing down here. There's one of Redstream's handmaidens and one of Boulder Down's handmaidens that are dancing together.
Redstream, she's on.
I think that's all the female nobles.
Sorry. Okay.
Sure, I'll go and
Bloody hell.
oh god.
Dark Heresy.
I'm gonna go and try cutting with Lady Redstream.
Okay, you approach Lady Redstream. Where would you like to lead her to? She gladly takes your hand and offers you a polite smile.
Just a minute again, please. When you settle down now. Alright.
Okay, I shall lead her over to sort of this way so I can keep an eye on the council.
Okay, Lady Redstream comes with you. Between you all, has anyone got any preference for what Mira does? Or who she dances with, or if she dances?
She should dance with ball bag.
Is he below his station, or is he like on par?
Yeah, I mean,
Who's Verence?
Gareth is the knob end.
Yeah.
I think he's the boy.
He's the creep.
Maybe go for one of the other lords, like the Boulder Down, is it? Like someone of similar rank.
Okay, so you want Mira to dance with Boulder Down?
That's what I think.
Yeah, good idea.
Where is Mira? Let's just... I'm briefly giving you access to Mira out so you can... and you can move her as well, maybe. Just a sec. Just a sec. You should now have access. Okay, so you want to just dance where he is. You don't. I mean, you know, she can try and lead him somewhere else. Okay. Ramsay's with Cleaves. Pincher! Well, what would you like to do?
Right, I can't. I'm busting shapes. Who shall I go with?
You turned into Dad's army.
Busting shapes. Maybe I could dance with ball bag.
I think you should. Jake and Ballbag together.
With your heart.
Okay, so you can
Part of selling your ball back.
I-
We need the dick and
Like it
ball
was
back,
meant to be.
again, Dick. You can move wherever you'd like, and I'll move ball back to you if you'd prefer, rather than being where you are. It's entirely up to you.
I don't think it was, but you can make it that kind of party if you dance with the ball bag.
It might end up like what? It might end up like that any minute.
I'm all right. I'm happy with them.
You're happy there, okay? Ishmael.
I've come from behind.
Oh. Is anybody else? Is everybody that's going to move, Dave?
Out of the nobles and stuff.
Yeah.
There's going to be some swappage. It depends if you or Derek dance. Obviously, I can't really. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Can I wait until everyone's moved about?
Yeah, of course you can.
Scoot around the outskirts, see if I can overhear anybody. I think.
Yeah, no problem. Derek, what would you like to be doing?
I'm gonna go and find a servant for more of that green shit.
Okay, there's one over at the north of the map there.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over there.
If you want to go over there, put yourself over there.
I'm gonna subtly walk around and then sort of like casually, as if I was somebody important, grab these green glasses off there and keep walking around the dance floor.
Okay.
And stand here. And yeah. There you go. Yeah, next to the servant, basically. And then have some of that green shit because it's false.
Half a dozen.
Lord Verant seems to be heading over this way when suddenly a Ceraban appears and reaches out and taps you on the shoulder, and you hear, "Excuse me, my lord, may I have the pleasure?" Verant turns, looks him up and down, and goes, "Yes, very well." Councillor Courter Brogue strides onto the dance floor, whispers to Lady Borella, and she turns and says, "Well, of course, Councillor," with a little smile. Actually, no, they're not there. They're... Yeah, sure. Let me just sort out where everyone else is going, and then we'll do that. Sorka Outhwaite strides over to where General Kaleem is just standing, doing very little, and you see like General Kaleem sort of gives him a vague shake of the head. Sorkat mutters something to him. Kaleem's face changes to one of annoyance, and then he follows Lord Outhwaite onto the dance floor. Everyone make a... This is an etiquette test. So it's a bit of a weird test, this, although it's etiquette. It's based on your fellowship. Vlad, you get a plus 35. Mira gets a plus 35. Ramsey gets a plus 50. Ishmael gets a plus 15. Dick gets a plus 25. Dericles gets a plus 15.
It's on fellowship, yeah?
Yeah.
Plus 15, yeah?
Dale Crow.
Yes! I made it on the dot!
Yeah.
Okay, we roll one for Mira as well, please, Vlad.
I think I should have.
Oh, did you?
I did.
Oh, there's two in there, isn't there?
Yeah, the first one is cannibal, not cannibal blood. So.
Yeah.
Second one is
That's Mira's. Okay. So Ramsey, Mira, Derek, and Dick all realise that what Lord Outhwaite, the gentleman from Gunmetal City, has just done is a massive breach of protocol. He has approached someone and persuaded him to enter the dance floor when he wasn't stood in the usual spot by the stage. But General Kaleem, looking annoyed, has gone with him. What else? So, Councillor Brogue is there. Julia and Cypriot Danine continue to dance together. And you see they're enamoured with each other. They're whispering into each other's ears. There's lots of smiles, lots of touching of arms and shoulders, lots of general flirting. Outhwaite's with Kaleem. The Ballback. Where is... Oh, yeah, Ballbag's there. Balldown's over there. Redstream is with Vlad. Lady Redstream's handmaiden moves over here and stands near you and Lady Redstream Vlad. Boulder Down's aide goes over here and begins talking to one of the guards. Maylene Trun scoots off into the corner and does her best to not look out of place.
Funny.
Okay, so Ishmael, now you know where everyone is. What would you like to be doing?
Also, could I teleport, Ishmael?
Oh, yeah, of course you can. Give us some dice.
Dice.
So 7, yeah, that is enough.
Yep.
for telepathy. I'm going to telepathy to Ishmael. I don't know, have I used telepathy on before? Ishmael, it is I, Vlad. I'm talking directly into your mind. Try not to look suspicious.
He's hacked your circuits.
I went into the bathroom earlier and I used projection back into the party and started scanning the minds of a counsellor, Quarter Brogue. When I did so, I found it was been name of Theodosia. Does that name mean anything to you?
Oh yeah, eating grass.
Right. So, the name Theodosia,
Don't think so.
it maybe does.
Was responsible for creating Seth. I also think he was responsible for bringing down our shuttle, or bringing down Medan's shuttle. Remember our first mission?
Yep.
To recover the cylinder.
Yes.
I think he's a heretic. So I was wondering if you can try and keep track of his counsel at all. Or if you've got any surveillance on it.
Whereabouts is he?
So I'll just nod my head to him. He's this one at the top, the dance floor. Dancing with Lady Borella.
So, Theodosia,
See him?
Theodosia's come up a few times. His name was mentioned. Excuse me. His name was mentioned in the note found on the corrupt enforcer that had the black cylinder at the very beginning of the game. Dick, Pincher, and Siegfried, you've all heard their story. They tracked Silas Malor to a hidden cave under Port Suffering in Iacanthos. And it turned out Silas Malor was hired by this Theodosia to deliver the phylactery to Iacanthos, which is what was responsible for the awakening of the demon Tissiac. Also, Dick found a journal by one of Malor's henchmen who later mutated and turned into a mutant and was killed by Pincher and Siegfried. And in his journal, he actually said, "This is all that bastard Theodosia's fault." On the data slates taken from Seth the Voice, you learned he was recruited by Theodosia, augmented in Koskala district by a woman known as the Chirurgeon, who you also fought and defeated.
Who you put an axe through.
Yeah, who basically got cut in half. Seth was then taken to the Piety of Seth, where he took on the identity of the martyr the world's named after, and then was later taken to Iacanthos by one of Felroth Gelt's agents. Also, during a time on Scintilla, Dick and Medan tracked down some gang members who had been working with this man from the very beginning of the game, and they learnt that they had been hired to do so. They'd been hired to get involved by Theodosia. Meanwhile, Ramsey was hunting members of the gang. One of them he captured, gave over to Vlad. Vlad psychically interrogated him. Not only learnt the name Theodosia, but saw the face of this man, heavily augmented, one red, one green eye. And of course, now you know that Councillor Quarter Brogue is doing something, delivering something to him, and he seems very afraid of Theodosia.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll
So
keep my
question
keepers.
is, can we put him under any sort of surveillance? Is there anything that you can do to, this guy is now a prime suspect in our investigation.
I can keep my eye on him. Sorry, keep my eye on him while we're in here. Then it's possible I can send a thing after him
Yeah.
once you left.
Track him. Yeah.
Yeah, track him. Like, I mean, if he meets with Theodosi, we need to know about it. So yes, I'm just saying he's a prime suspect now. That's what. I'll have to
Yeah, I'll see if I can just make him say anything.
Okay. So that's your little telepathy done. So Ishmael, you're loitering there, are you?
Yeah, I've moved around.
Okay, so everyone's happy with their positioning.
Yep.
Let's go round again. Vlad.
Okay.
First of all, let's do some dancing. So it's a +5 to your intelligence again for remembering this dance. We'll see what your partner thinks of this. You get away with it when you both dancing. You and Mira are drunk dancing together, but when you dance with someone else, what will happen? Okay.
It's gonna be one of those.
Okay. Right. Okay. So.
If I really cared about dancing, I'd use a fake point.
And Lady Redstream seems to realise that you're not really doing particularly well with this dance, and she does her best to try and guide you. Make an agility test at -5, please.
Yes, I can.
You're a little clumsy, not as bad as you have been in the past, but Lady Redstream is a little more clumsy. And it appears, although she remembers the dance, she's not too good at carrying out. You catch a whiff of Amasek on her breath and realise she's maybe had a little bit to drink. Would you like to... Oh, she says... Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't get your name. I don't mean to be rude. It's just that there's always so many faces and names and people I've never met at these parties.
Remind me what my second name is again.
Rains.
Rains. Vladimir.
Vladimir.
Chance to be
Vladimir. She says, oh, pleased to meet you, Lord Rains. I hear you're from Thanksworld.
Yes, indeed. You're coming on vacation.
Yes, thank you. And what do you make of our city?
Oh, no. It's amazing, isn't it? You must feel so lucky to have been born here.
Yes, well, luck had very little to do with it. Reading, good reading. It's arranged, you know. I mean, do you not follow such practices on Thanksworld?
An arranged marriage. Just like, is that what she said, sorry?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. My wedding with Mira was also arranged.
Ah, so you do follow the same practice. I know some worlds don't do such things. We do it to selectively breed, to create the best of the best. The elite should be, of course, genetically, spiritually, and financially pure.
Yes, indeed. On the French world, this is to secure our economic assets. You understand.
Yes. It's much the same here, too. She's a very attractive woman. She's a bit older than you, maybe a decade or so older than you. But good breeding, a good lifestyle, and probably maybe a little rejuve treatment has given her a very pretty complexion, but she does seem a little ditzy. She has long, braided brown hair, vividly bright blue eyes, and dark skin. Not quite as dark as Mira's, but she's quite dark-skinned. And her arms are very veiny, like she doesn't have a lot of body fat. You notice on one hand, she has a tattoo. And it's just an abstract design of a tattoo. It's not something you're familiar with seeing on any of the other nobles here, but then again, these are really the very few nobles you've met before. Make a... Just a second. It'll be an awareness test. I just need to check something first. An awareness test with a plus 20, please.
Well, it'll be an extra minus 10 to that, but yeah, still 2 degrees.
As you're talking to her, the close proximity, you begin to feel something from Lady Anastasia Redstream. It appears that she may have some sort of psychic potential. You don't detect the sort of thing you've detected in other psychers you will have met before. You know, it's not like a raging power, an aura that burns around them. It's almost like it's something in her that has yet to be awakened.
All right. And is that related at all to the kind of senses I got from Ramsey and...
Totally different. What you got off Ramsey and Dick was almost like a very small aura of psychic ability. This doesn't feel like psychic ability. It feels like there is psychic ability trapped within her that is yet to manifest. Basically, she is a latent psyker. And you would also know that she maybe is not aware of this.
Okay.
Possible target for.
For the choir.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. I'm also going to be grassing it straight in after this mission. Well, just wander around, you know.
Yeah.
We'll
Okay.
leave it till after the mission. I won't do the mission. Can't be allowed to go around.
On target.
Should be a magnet demon.
Anything else you'd like to say to...
Yeah. I'd like to try and draw her on to talking about the choir.
Okay.
Try and change the topic.
So what are you asking her?
I'd say, well, I've taken in quite a lot of interesting things in Scintilla since we arrived, but I think what really caught my attention was this joyous choir. Such an interesting philosophy.
Oh, the Joyous Choir. Are you a member?
No, I was considering going along to one of their little shindigs.
Oh, you absolutely must. Yes. I've been a member for a time that I definitely have written down.
I don't need to know the time. Don't need to dwell on
A length of time that is significant, okay? Why are you questioning me? No, she's been a member for a little over 2 years.
Okay. And are you close to being true, would you say?
Where are we?
Have you paid enough to become true?
She says, where are we? Where's the fucking paragraph? She says, well, yes, I mean, at first I just joined it for something to do. Someone I met, Lady Borella, in fact, said it was a good way of cheering up, and I'll admit it has cheered me up a little. I've been rather low since Julian, my husband, passed 3 years ago. I thought perhaps a little faith could guide me. But yes, the choir has helped, and not as much as I'd hoped, but that might change after Thursday. I've been invited to attend the Joyous Choir. They haven't told me I am true, but they said I was near. I was becoming truer, I believe I was told at the last meeting. I must admit, I always thought there was nothing in that whole nonsense about giving to charity, making one feel good, but, well, it seems to work. If I've become truer, they said I'd gained much trueness as a result of my donation, and then this morning when I woke, I found the invitation to the Alabaster Choir. Alabaster Court, sorry.
So you are honoured, my dear. And I must say, you danced so exquisitely.
Oh, why, thank you, Lord Rains.
Well, I think you kind of told me what I need to know now about...
Okay.
Yeah, so she's given me enough there,
So she's just chit-chatting with you in general about the choir and things. She doesn't give you anything of use. If you would like to try and listen in while you're talking to her.
It's like a pay to win salvation. That's what it is. It's like, you know, if I pay enough money, I'll then be true and I'll be okay.
It's just what is it? The fucking Scientology through and
That's basically what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, Tom Cruise is going to rock up in a minute. If
Be shorter than Ramsey, though, won't it?
yeah, that's what I was just thinking. He'll have a chair to stand on for his dancing scenes like he does in the films. Have you ever seen the footage of him standing on boxes on set, like to kiss women and stuff? He's fucking brilliant. They have him in lift shoes, standing on a box to be able to have like romance scenes with the actresses he's cast alongside. It's brilliant.
That's great.
So, Vlad, while you're chatting to Lady Redstream, would you like to try and do anything else, listening in on anyone, observing anyone, anything like that?
I'm gonna give him a full attention.
Okay, cool. Meanwhile, we won't fully roleplay out Mira because she's not here. We'll just do some shit for her. So, Vlad, you've got a character sheet. Can you make some dancey rolls for me? So it's a plus 40 for the intelligence and a minus 5 for the agility, and of course she is at minus 10. So plus 30 intelligence, minus 15 agility.
So what was the modifier on the agility? Sorry?
Minus 15 in total. Okay.
Well, a 91 and a 90.
Lord William Boulderdown. He doesn't know the fucking dance, but he's got a few moves. He's not doing the right dance, but he's kind of leading Mira, twirling her, and generally being a little bit chaotic in his mad dancing. So you don't have to roleplay this, but tell me what you'd like Mira to be talking about, and we'll do some rolls based on that.
No, it's like basically if you can try and find out a bit about him and also whether there's any connection
Yeah, okay. Give me a fellowship test for Mira with or a charm test if she's got charm. I think she's got charm. Yeah, it'll just be a straight test. Oh, minus 10, sorry, for her being a bit inebriated.
good that I've got control over him. I can roll these dice, I can do it
Can't roll any worse than cheating.
That's true. You do have access to her fate points as well, by the way, if you ever want to use any. Where is he? Here he is. So she chats to him for a little bit. He learns a few bits and pieces. Introduces himself as Boulderdown! Lord William Boulderdown. And he recites a little of stuff you've already heard about how he's come to Hive Tarsus, investigating a financial irregularity, he claims, in his Golden Hand account. Make an intelligence test for Mira, please.
Great test.
Yeah.
Or minus 10.
Oh, minus 10, yeah. So, Mira doesn't know what a Golden Hand account is. He describes himself as not a trader, but his family are traders. There was a wee discrepancy in the accounts, so his family sent him to Hive Tarsus, which is the second hive on Scintilla, to basically deal with this discrepancy in his account. And while he's been here, he's been wandering around looking at various sights and sounds of Scintilla, the places everyone is told, you know, if you're going to visit Scintilla, you've absolutely got to visit the Cathedral of Light in Hive Tarsus, and that sort of thing. He also mentions the Scintillan Dictates again. He claims to be something of a scholar. And he actually says at one point, he jangles similar earrings that you've seen before. And he actually says that he tried to see the original copy of the Scintillan Dictates, but the stuffy bastards at the Tricorn wouldn't let me see them. Make an intelligence test at plus 30 for Mira, because she has all the fucking law skills. Mira knows everything there is to know about the Scintillant Dictates. She's read them over and over again, studied them in great detail. They are written by the legendary Inquisitor Heraclean Theos. And as already mentioned, they are an instruction manual given to new acolytes. Heraclean Theos was the first Inquisitor to set foot in the Calexis sector, alongside Saint Drusus, or General Drusus, and the rogue trader Solomon Harlock when they first began the conquest of this region of space. He was basically the founder of the Trichon and the Calexian Conclave. Thy master's will shall be the whole of the law. Thou shalt know thy duties. Thou shalt not overestimate thine own importance. Thou shalt not make improper use of thy master's purse, nor his seal, nor his name either. Thou shalt seek no reward but the satisfaction of thy master. Thou shalt be glad of thy master's punishment, for it is deserved, and improves thee. These are the core tenets of the Scintillant Dictates. Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Don't waste my master's purse.
What was that about the purse? Yeah.
Dave, your camera's like flashing.
Yeah, it does this every now and then, and I don't know why.
Does your camera need adjustments like that?
I don't know.
I would just move it. That's it, yeah. Yeah, it's just catching the light wrong.
Yeah. I wonder if it was my monitor doing it. But
Oh no, it's doing it again now. Doesn't matter.
he also goes on. Fuck knows why he's doing it.
Not bad though.
Paranormal phenomena.
Make another intelligence test for Mira at a +10 this time. She recognises these earrings. Each one of these is a mark that indicates someone has mastered a particular branch of scholastic law. Basically, they are a font of knowledge on a certain subject. And he has about 15 of these rings in his ears, like similar to what you saw Cereban have. And chatting to Mira, he seems to become impressed with Mira. Make a fellowship roll or a charm roll for Mira with a +10, so it'd be a straight roll, sorry. Because Mira is something of a scholar as well, so she can hold a conversation in this sort of environment.
Try re-roll on that one.
Okay,
Very good.
that's better. And he seems quite taken with Mira. You know, he's chatting and smiling. He seems to recognise another scholar, another powerful mind as he's talking with her. And as she moves on to the subject of the Joyous Choir, he too states that he is a member. He has an invitation to the Alabaster Court for a few days' time. And he says 2.3 degrees success. Yeah. He says, "Oh, lassie, I'm a bit alone on this planet, and I apologise for my strange accent, but would you be interested in accompanying me to the Alabaster Court?" We best leave that decision in Mira's hands. I'll somehow bluff my way around, assuming that we don't know yes or no, but I'll bring that up with Leanne, that she has been invited to the Alabaster Court as Lord Balderdown's guest. Okay. While Mira's doing that, would she like to try and listen in and grab some snippets of anyone else?
I'll go on and we'll try and listen in on old General Colleen's awkward conversation.
Okay. Give me an awareness test. She's fairly close, so it'll be a +20, well, +10 with her inebriation. Okay. She overhears Lord Outhwaite, asking the General when he thinks he might be able to return home to gunmetal. The General appears to be a little drunk, and also a little rude and condescending to Lord Outhwaite, and claims that he, like everyone else, will have to wait until the situation in gunmetal calms down, and that the Scintillan Protectorate will soon re-establish control. Make another awareness test, please, with a +10. Lord Outhwaite seems to become rather frustrated with this answer, and claims that his sources tell him a large number of the PDF seem to be on manoeuvres out in the wastes. They should have been back by now, considering the situation in gunmetal. They've had a week and still have not returned. And he knows for a fact there's also a whole regiment conducting low-gravity training on Sothis, the moon. He questions the General what the delay is in redeploying the PDF, and why a regiment of PDF, a planetary defence force for Scintilla, needs zero-G training at all. It is their job to defend Scintilla, not invade moons, he mentions. General Kaleem seems to grow angry at this, stating military logistics are a very complex thing. He can't simply snap his fingers and magically transport that many troops thousands of miles back from their manoeuvres or back from the moon in the blink of an eye. And the subject of how the PDF are trained and for what reasons is no business of Lord Outhwaite's. Ramsey.
Yeah.
Give me an intelligence test for your dancing. +5, agility at -20, please.
Go on, let's have a re-roll of
Okay.
it. Yay! Right, one sec. No, I don't get it back. I'm down to 2. And agility. Hey! Fine.
Okay. You do pretty well at your dancing. So does Lady Cleves. She's a pretty good dancer. But she moves with a kind of nonchalance. Like, yeah, she's doing this. What more do you fucking want? She doesn't seem to put much passion or effort into it, but she goes through the moves. While you're dancing with her, would you like to talk to her, ask her anything, say anything to her?
Oh, shit, I've not even thought about it.
Just busy boogieing.
Yeah, boogieing.
Uh,
You want to move to dance, my lady?
She's
Brings you to this party tonight.
she says, "Well, I was invited, and it's sometimes worth doing things one doesn't want to do just to shut up certain acquaintances."
And
And
nod in the direction of the Lady Borella.
Yes. Yeah, and she grins at you and says, "As I said to you before, Mr. Wallace, you are more than just a simple valet, a very observant man." When you met her before, did you tell her your regiment?
No, I just said that to a little bit in the guard.
Yeah. She says, "So, Mr. Wallace, former guardsman, are we not? Where have you served?"
Across the sector, my lady.
Indeed. And how long?
Ooh, how long? Well, funny you mentioned that actually, because I'm not sure I can actually remember how long I served in the guard, but I started my service on a Space Hulk,
You
or
see,
up in space.
you see her ears prick up as you say this, and she says, "On a space Hulk? Most interesting. And yet here you are, alive and well. That is incredibly fortuitous."
Fate has been kind to me, my lady.
Indeed it has. Indeed it has. And it brings you here, to Scintilla, to this room of all places.
Serving my lord.
Of course, of course. A noble profession. She says, "We're not so different, you and I, Mr. Wallace. I was not born into this life. I had it thrust upon me."
Did you marry into nobility, my lady?
I did. It was a reward. Well, that's what they told me. Sometimes it doesn't feel like one.
We all serve in our own way, my lady.
Indeed, we do. We all serve the God Emperor on Holy Terror, blessed be his name. And she quickly retracts her hands, makes the sign of the Aquila, and bows her head slightly. Okay. Anything else you'd like to say to her or anything?
I see a lot of these religious types at this party, my lady. Are you affiliated with them?
She says, well, I have recently joined this joyous choir under the behest of Lady Borella, who I am loosely related to through my husband, Emperor rest his soul. Lady Borella's been nagging at me to tag along there in this joyous choir for quite some time. I don't think it's really my thing.
Still there, Dave?
Say again, you broke up a bit there.
Oh, I thought you stopped.
Oh.
Okay, so she's probably not. It looks like everyone here is affiliated with them in some way, or they're trying to earn their way into all of the nobility.
King cats, calm down. My cats are going mental because it's raining outside. Just wondering about the house.
Yeah, ours are the same.
I don't know if you can hear them just knocking about. It's just underneath the settee.
I can hear the occasional noise, yeah.
Yeah. I'll ask her. Is it normal for a religion like an emerging religion like this to court the favour of so much nobility at once?
Make a fellowship test for me, because Lady Cleave seems to like you, and you've spent a bit of time in her company, you will get... Where's Ramsey? There's Ramsey. You get a plus 20 to your fellowship.
Wait.
Okay. She smiles at you and says, well, as with many things this far up the hive, it's about money. It's no coincidence that those who gain an invite to this alabaster court are seemingly those with power or money and are keen to donate it to the choir, which is probably why I have not been invited to the Alabaster Court. Although I have been asked to make a donation, but frankly, Mr. Wallace, they can go fuck themselves.
Too right, my lady. I'd save it for yourself if you had the right sense.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to say to it, or would you like to try and listen into something or anything like that?
No, we'll try and listen in. Has anybody listening to Boulder Down?
Mira's dancing with Boulder Town!
Aha. Well, we heard anything from General Kill Team? Yeah, we haven't.
Yeah. General Kill Team.
A Brogue and Borella, are they the same as they were before this dance?
No, this is a new pairing. I think everyone's a new pairing.
No, I think I'm a bit too far away, maybe.
You could maybe try, but you would get a penalty for that distance.
Ooh. Could maybe... I'll try and get something out of Borella. I might be able to lip read something.
Okay. Make a awareness test at... Let's have a think. You'd be able to see them, so you'd get your lip reading bonus, but with the distance involved, you'd get a -10 as well. So...
So just a straight...
Just a straight roll, yeah. Okay, so you basically hear Lady Borella is discussing Maylene Trun, the midhive woman who seems very nervous and jittery. And what a delightful, helpful young lady she has been. And tells her that when Father Shoal had told Lady Borella that he planned to spread his choir down into the midhive, Lady Borella had had her doubts that it would take off. Midhivers are generally a dour lot with no concept of happiness for the most part. But Miss Trun, although clearly a nervous, skittish woman, always seemed quite happy with her lot in life, and she makes quite wonderful dresses. And it turns out that's how Lady Borella met Miss Trun, as a dressmaker. Make another awareness test at -10. Councillor Corterbroke agrees, saying how he had almost given up on his own faith after some rather turbulent times, but after stumbling across the joyous choir, he felt his faith was renewed, and when he finally established his own congregation in the midhive, Miss Trun had been instrumental in helping to bring new members in. It seems that down in the midhive she's a much more relaxed person, less jittery, and she's well respected in her community. And he wonders if Lady Borella could see to it that he himself could one day gain an invite to the Alabaster Court, as he longs to see Father Shoal's personal congregation. Lady Borella says, "I could make inquiries, my dear court, but I'm afraid I don't dish them out." Okay, so that's Ramsey. We'll come round next to Dick. I'm just going to have a quick piss.
Actually, come round next. It's warmer.
You just went there, it's not cold. I'm outside too.
You're late.
I've put my fan on cold because it's too warm in my garage.
Yeah, I'm getting cold now. This garage is like an ice box, so.
They're good. They're good for that.
Yeah. I'm trying to try my kit on. Bits.
Looks
This is
stunning,
actually
mate.
it's like this is like super warm, so it's gonna be great to do them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Pincher!
I'm getting older.
Hello.
Pincher. Give me some fucking shapes.
Okay.
So give me an intelligence roll. Intelligence roll at -10 and a fucking +55 agility roll. Because bullshit.
Wow.
It's just, you know what they say about black people, they've got natural rhythms. I'm so sorry. Can't swim though. And all the other associated cliches that aren't true. Okay, so yeah, you fucking once again, fuck the dance. You don't care. You're doing your own thing.
55, yeah?
Yeah, +55 to your agility. Because you just rolled so ridiculous in your lessons.
I'm so good at my dancing, it's unreal. Dice roll 76, it doesn't matter.
Okay, yeah, so once again, you're throwing some serious mad shit shapes. Cedric de Bolbeck,
He's impressed.
he's kind of interested, is more of the word. Just going to roll some shapes through. He's trying to do the proper dance that you should be doing while also trying to mimic you. And he's doing a fairly good job of mixing the two. And he generally seems like... impressed isn't maybe the right word. Curious is perhaps the right word. Like he's watching you with fascination. Let me just find Mr. Bolbeck's page. Where are you, Ballbag?
I would like to do something super fancy, dance style-y,
Okay.
to try and impress him. Like,
You've already impressed him.
it's not enough.
Where is he?
On his job, it's flaw.
It almost is. He's not very tall. Oh, come on.
And it comes up to my ball bag.
That's why they call him Cedric of Ballbag. Okay, so you as you're dancing around, would you like to chat with him?
I would.
Okay.
So, hello, Lord. Am I above my station in requesting that I able to talk with such an esteemed man like yourself?
Make a fellowship test.
Okay.
With a +20 for your narcotic experience.
Ballback. Yes.
Okay. He says, station's nonsense, my new friend. Your moves, your accent is quite fascinating. Tell me, from whence do you hail?
Trunch. The Trunch system.
Okay, make a deceive check.
Trunchworld.
Tranch. Yeah.
Trunchworld.
Make a deceive check. Which will be at +20 because it's a fellowship-based skill.
Okay. I'm really rolling that with a fate point.
Okay.
Really like this guy. Go. Yeah.
He says, Tranche, indeed. Wow, you must have seen some horrors over the last,
Yes.
since you were born, I suppose.
Yes, I've seen many horrors, but it does not affect my mood and looking positive in life. I say, I've been hearing a lot of this joyous choir. Do you know much about them?
What does he know? He knows about some smells, apparently. That's weird.
Well, actually, before I ask him that, I'm not going to jump straight into the balls. I'm going to ask him about himself. I say, you sound like you're well-travelled of the system.
So, there's many worlds I've been to, yes, of course. Strange and interesting worlds.
I couldn't help but overhear you said you've been to an alien world.
Oh, yes.
What was that like?
Well,
This is kind of why I wanted to dance with you, because These sort of places intrigue me.
Well, I would like you to make a fellowship test, please. You'll only get a +10 this time.
Okay. Shit, wagon. Oh, yes. The main thing which I keep having to practice. Just 10. Come on, Dick. Dick. Yes.
Okay.
Dick is a good talker.
He says, alien worlds. He says, oh yes, seen a number of worlds where there are ruined ancient civilizations, some dating back as far as the Angvin Crusade, of course, destroyed by General Drusus. Others much older, much older. In fact, one particularly strange world haunts my dreams. They call it Desilium.
Desilium.
Yes, strange cities made of bizarre black material grow out of the ground, almost metal, almost crystal. It's very hard to define. I hear the Mechanicus types have had some trouble learning what it is. But I shouldn't be talking of such things. Forgive me. I've been forbidden for speaking of such things. And you notice
Sorry.
he's a little drunk.
Okay. It's all right. My lips are sealed. But thank you for such an interesting thing. Interesting topic. I hear talk of this Joyce Choir. Do you know much about them?
Oh, the choir. Yes. The bloody Borella has mentioned it once or twice, but no, she hasn't tried to drag me along. Fortunately, not really my sort of thing.
Does it sound at all a bit too much? And about being happy, it sounds a bit like pay to play for me.
It sounds a little weird. I'll be honest. The God Emperor doesn't want happiness. If he did, with his power, he would clearly give us all happiness. No, what he wants is for us to be tested, each of us in our own way. My particular way, well, I have been tested. Oh, have I been tested? And his eyes take on a distant, faraway look for a moment, then, apologies, I went somewhere else for a moment there.
Then I'm going to ask him if he wants to join us into doing a few moves together. Show him a few moves off my homeworld.
Okay, make another fellowship test, please.
Yeah.
+20.
Do you want me to show you a few moves off my homeworld?
Okay.
Yes, he does.
He does, and you begin to show him some dance moves. While you're doing this, would you like to try and listen into anybody?
Well, we've listened to Sawcat, haven't we?
Yep.
I'll listen to Spasbian, Zerban.
Spasman. Celaban.
Zerabanafiem.
Okay.
His name's merged into the other guys.
Yeah, Ceraban and Lord Raffian Verence. So, make...
Just gonna spin round, like, and do a little twirl around the back of him.
Okay, you're pretty close to them, so make an awareness test with a +20 for me, please. What's up with you noisy thing?
Works. 20, enter. Wow, Dick.
You hear that...
It's like the opposite of girls.
Dick.
You hear, it's like a lot of women at a fucking stripper party. You hear Ceraban has finally had his chance to grill Lord Verence on the Tranch War's failed initial landing. Lord Verence seems annoyed by this, but appears to be polite enough to humour the scholar. He tells Ceraban that at the start of the war, 5 years ago, the part that Ceraban is interested in, was a little before his time, saying he had not yet been appointed to the Sector Council. But he explains that what he knows of the failure was partly down to bad intel and partly down to bad luck and ill timing. I want you to make an intelligence test at +10.
I don't have intelligence. One more. I don't pass.
You get one.
See?
Okay.
No. I know it. I know the rolls I'll pass.
Make another awareness test at +20, please.
This small.
He goes on to explain that the initial landing was comprised of mostly foot soldiers, conscripts for the most part, but the small rebel uprising turned out to be a sizable, well-organised and well-equipped force of mutants, rampaging berserkers for the most part. They charged the landing fields with reckless abandon for their own safety and seemed quite mad. Of course, it didn't help that one regiment that was due to take part in the invasion, that was not mere criminal conscripts, that was a highly organised, effective fighting force, never quite made it there. And he mentions the name of this regiment. The Tulsith 115th.
Isn't that me?
You didn't hear this,
No, I didn't.
but yes.
Yeah, that's it.
Rumour has it that a small detachment of the legendary Astartes were due to take part too, but they decided they had better things to do, apparently. A shame, for they could have turned the tide. Okay. So, moving on to Mr. Ishmael Preto.
I was going to listen into Councillor Court the Brogue, but I think Rams has already done that.
Yeah. Just wait, don't. Just stop.
Stop.
Go no further. Not you, sorry, I'm talking to the cat.
Who's that there?
What was that, Chewie? Tell me your cat secrets.
No, I think I'm just going to. Well, I suppose I best just. I'm trying to listen in on that Court of Rogue guy, and I'm going to just keep my eyes on him.
Okay, you can move around as well if you want, if you wanted to try somewhere
I
else.
think everyone's listened in. No, I can get to it in the middle either. Yeah, I think I'm going to stay where I am. Keep an eye on that cat, Court Road.
Okay. Okie dokie. Just make an awareness test for me.
Just straight awareness test.
Yeah, please. Sight-based, if you get any bonuses for that.
Just at the minute. Yeah.
Okay. Anything else? Anything else, Ed?
No, I'm just going to keep my eyes on the council lot.
Okie dokie. Dericles.
I'm just going to. I don't really know what to do with Derek Lee. I don't think he's damned, to be honest.
I thought you were going to get a jelly shot.
Yeah, I've already got a jelly. I think I got one up the turban, so yeah, I'm going to take that.
Yeah, okay. Give me a toughness test at plus 30. Chewie, you sat on my pen, you fat lump.
Down 6. Down 6.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm going to re-roll that with those.
I just jinx it, I'm going to try this.
You, once again, fucking fridge is going again. You once again begin to feel the effects of whatever this is. And again, you feel pretty good. It's pretty nice. As you glance around the room, you once again begin to see these strands of fate. Coloured emotions. You can see slight red anger coming from General Kaleem and also Lord Verence. It's quite obvious from their facial expressions that this red shimmer around them is anger. You can see quite a bright blue glow coming from
Are you playing without me?
yes,
Okay.
coming from Vladimir. Very bright, very intense light. You notice a similar light, but much weaker, coming from your own hands, and also a even more pale version coming from around Dick's body. You can also see ever so slightly. Stop reading my notes, you
I'm
cheater!
not even reading them.
You can also
Sorry, guys.
you can also see a very very pale greenish glow coming from Lady Anastasia Redbush. That's not a name. Lady Anastasia Redstream. Other than that, you don't see any of these particular blue glows, but you do see these strands of interconnection. And around Julia and Cyprit Danine, you see this very warm glow, very wholesome looking glow coming from the pair of them. It makes you smile.
It's good to know. I'm going to
Payday.
move down the line.
You know, Tasha's youngest son.
Leah, hang on.
People that are standing on the side.
Never mind.
So,
Okay.
Move around, just like nod to people, nod to the guards, if you need, the bodyguards and things.
Okay.
And the lady, what they call handmaidens and stuff as well, just nod and give the sign of the Aquila. And just do what a priest would do really at a party, which is sort of walk around and sort of love the priest do.
Tripping exists off of green jelly.
Okay. Give me a.
Fucked up. Absolutely wasted on green jelly as well.
That's coming out of train
Why
spotting.
not?
Give me a fellowship test at plus 20, please, Johnny.
Oh, man. Okay. Let's see. Do that. Plus 20. Do that.
Okay.
Don't fail it. That's it. Oh,
5 degrees success. Many of these people seem. Oh, thank you, Father. And they're nodding back at you. Well, blessings be upon you, brother. All the usual stuff. Even the guards, the usually stuffy guards, offer you Aquilas and nods. The bell on the stage chimes. It's partner switching time. I'm going to feed the cat. I'll be right back. Yeah?
I might sort of offer myself up for a dance, sort of try and do that. You know. Let's see what happens. I can't remember how well I rolled for the etiquette and the dance stuff there. Don't know if it'll be any good. It might create a bit of a disaster.
My guy's like busting shapes. You don't know how to dance properly, just bust shapes.
I don't think it really matters, does it? I think it's you know.
Everybody will look down on you if you dance badly.
Yeah, picture him like that. He doesn't care. We'll probably end up killing half these heretics anyway. Like,
Oh yeah, I can't wait to see that shit this party up.
The bell.
Definitely not to shoot anybody at 30.
The bell chimes once more, and people begin to switch partners. Ramsay. Lady Cleves bends down and gives you a small peck on the cheek, and even offers you a completely over-the-top curtsy, and says, "Thank you for the dance, Mr. Wallace," at the top of her voice. "But if you'll excuse me, I have to go and poke her grox." She smiles impishly and heads over towards Miss Maylene Trun. Everyone... Sorry?
I said, the honour was mine, my lady.
Everyone make an awareness test, please. straight awareness with any modifiers you currently have for anything like inebriation.
So that's -10 for me, isn't it?
Yep.
So mine's a fail then. If I'm not still
Me.
inebriated.
Maybe 1 degree. There's some.
Yeah.
Do we get extra bonus awareness with this drug or not?
No. It's the only positive is the fellowship. Okay.
Oh, fast.
So, Ramsey, Dericles, Vlad. You all notice that as she says this about this, she gives this dramatic bow and kisses Ramsey on the cheek and says this about poking her grox. You see her glancing at Lord Raffian Verence with a mischievous look in her eyes as she heads towards Maylene Trum. Everyone make another awareness test, except for Mira, she'd be out of range. And Ramsey would be out of range.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and Ishmael would as well, because he's all the way up there, isn't he? Was that Vlad or Reg?
I've rolled for both of us.
Oh, okay. Which is which?
The one that says flag is flag.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so Reg hears this, and he could probably pass it on to you later. And so does Dericles. You hear Lord Verence. His words are a bit slurred at this point, and probably a little louder than he intended as he says, "Bloody woman, no sense of station, consorting with an abhuman and then a bloody midhiver. No breeding, that's her problem." And Cereban says, "No breeding, she has no children?" He says, "That's not what I meant, you bloody fool. I thought you were supposed to be smart." And he glares at Lady Cleaves and says, "I mean, you can take the midhiver out of the hive, but you can't take the midhiver out of the hive. No, you can take the hive out of the hiver, but you can't. You know what I bloody mean!" The partners begin to switch. Anyone that would like to select a partner or anything, please do.
No one's done some phones.
So, Vlad.
I'm probably going to put my
Okay. So, I'm going to do this one a little different. So, Vlad's going over there. Make a decision for Mira as well, please.
It's been a minute.
Al.
David Bacon.
What
I'm
about... Be gone, pest! I'm busy here. Yeah,
Let's go for a cuddle, man.
I'm busy. Sorry. So, Dick, you're off to talk to Sullivan, are you?
Oh no.
Do you want a whiskey sours making at least?
Right.
Yeah?
What?
Yeah.
I might go to dance with Redstream.
He told
Sorry.
me to be gone, pest.
So you're going to dance with Redstream.
Julia Stropsprint, or whatever it is.
Strauss, Julia Strauss.
She got married to Mrs. Strauss, is she?
No, that's Julia Strauss isn't married. She's the woman you came here with. She's just danced with Mr. Cypriot Danine the whole time so far.
I'll dance with Lady Anastasia Redstream then.
Okay, cool. Ramsey?
I'll go see if Vlad wants any refreshment.
Okay. Ishmael?
Has everyone moved?
No, sorry, no. If you're staying there, I'll come back to you. Dericles?
Yeah.
I'm gonna basically ask, offer my hand to the. Oh no, you can't dance from the top, can you? It's from the sides.
I mean, you can do it if you want. It's just a breach of etiquette.
I'll not do that. I'll just move round to the side. Move round to the side and just stand on the side. If I'm interested in the dance, just stand there.
Okay, cool. So, Ramsey, you're going over to
They want
see.
down to the poxmarked, chemical burn priest, don't they? But he can but try.
So, what about Mira?
I'm gonna bring over like the dutiful wife.
Okay. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to arrange the pairings that are carrying on. If you want to adjust where you are or what you're doing after that, you can. So Julie and Cyprit have moved over here a bit. Lady Cleves has managed to persuade Maylin Trun onto the dance floor. Lord Althwaite manages to get Lady Borella to dance. Cedric de Bolbeck, where's everybody gone?
Umbrellas.
Vlad, where have you gone?
The bottom. At the bottom.
It's missing on my map.
Go a bit further down.
No, he's completely disappeared off my map.
Who should
Bottom
be
in the
next?
middle.
Mirror.
Mira's disappeared as well.
Oh, goodness.
Cedric actually steps over to wherever the fuck you are, Vlad, and invites you to dance. It's up to you whether you do or not.
Well, that's just coming back.
Vlad, I don't know where you've gone. You've disappeared off the map for me.
I'm just right at the bottom. I just wanted to. I'll move myself back to where we were.
Okay.
I was just right at the bottom of the map.
All right. Cedric has come over. Sorry. Cedric has come over and invited you to dance, by the way.
Cedric.
Yeah.
I picked the ball back.
I like
I'm gonna
Nikolai's ball bag.
decline the ball back. I'm gonna say.
Winning combo.
it. Yeah.
I'm gonna say pardon me, but I must have a word with my dear wife. I mean no offense.
Okay. He says, "Oh, none taken." Sorry, none taken, of course.
Dave's gonna be completely.
And then he wanders off over here by himself.
Right.
Right. Okay. So
Brutal man.
Didn't you know it was heresy to take a man by the waist?
I probably shouldn't. Well, okay, cheers, Alicia.
It is written.
Written in the book.
The Book of Reasons. 101 million reasons to burn.
Wait.
Okay, so that's the pairings. So quite a few people have left the dance floor. Ishmael, if that changes anything, then let me know.
Sorry. Is there anyone I know?
Yeah, Ed and Alan.
I'm sorry. Hi. I just miss people. Hey.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, those were the size of Dave's head. Right.
Get away. I'm happy now.
It's like early around here.
Right. Anyway, so Ishmael, what were you going to do?
I have slightly moved.
Okay. Anyone else want to adjust based on where you are now? No? Okay. So, we'll go around again. Vladimir.
Right, I'd like to talk to something.
Okay.
I'd like to say what I wanted to do when I'm moving myself away further down, try and move a bit away from the servant. I want to talk to these two and I want to keep my voice down, but I'd like to try and speak to them away from,
Casting mud in the clouds.
Yep.
nearby servants. I'm going to say, keep my voice low, I'm going to say to sign of that counselor, court of rogues, religious type. He's working with Theodosia. He's acquiring something for him. I don't know what. That name, Theodosia, keeps popping up. Some kind of heretic. Doesn't believe in consequences. Consequences?
Coincidences.
That's what I meant. I'm gonna say,
No, Derek doesn't believe.
Okay.
I'll warn them of this threat from this heretic.
Mira, yes, I smell heresy. Because I imagine that's something Leanne would probably say right now.
You always say that.
Yeah.
That's just like her.
Because she only knows two things about this game, and one is that it's called Dark Heresy.
Yeah, we need an in with the. Have we got an invite yet to the Alabaster Court?
I don't know, Mira.
Mira says, well, actually, she says, well, actually, yes, Lord Boulderdown invited me to attend.
Seems like an opportunity too good to be true.
Mm.
I keep hearing that a good way of getting into the Alabaster Court is to make some extravagant donations. They're called. They seem interested in the rich folk. It seems Mira already has tracked the way in without that.
Or perhaps they'll ask for that before we go. Either way.
Depends if we want to get more than one of us there. At the moment it's just her who's got an invite.
Well, surely she wouldn't go without her partner.
I don't know.
And the partner needs an entourage.
I don't know if that's. I don't know what the case is.
Okay. Anything else, Vlad?
No, that's what I want to do.
Do you want Mira doing anything in this time?
I suppose I think what we could do is connect with Mira is whether the invite was just for her or for her.
Well, he did say, would I like to attend with him because he knows no one else really who he could take, and he seemed to have a shared love of knowledge.
Okay, so it's just for you then. It would appear.
Seems that way.
So if the rest of us want to get in, we maybe need to.
Mm-hmm.
I've been invited, but not to
It's not to the Alabaster Court. It's to one of the smaller churches.
one of the smaller churches.
It's
as
worthwhile
well.
going to that, I think.
Yeah,
Maybe
definitely.
using that as a tool to make a big donation.
Yeah.
Maybe getting further up the chain.
It is. We can always, once we've rooted out the heresy, we can always just get all that wealth back for the Inquisition. Donate it back to a worthier cause.
See Borella and try greasing the wheels with some coin and
Yeah.
and get an in like that.
Is there any way we can implant some sort of tracking device on the guy that's, due to have this meeting with Theodosia? You can send thing, but is there any way we could sort of, find out where this guy sort of resides and then try and plant something on him?
Well, it's the guy who invited you to the church meeting.
Yeah.
That's the strange who it is. Do we know where he spends some of his time? Yeah, I think we could do with some surveillance, like you said.
Yeah.
Bugging device or a tracking device or something.
Or a crow.
Or a crow.
Watching.
Unfortunately, Reg isn't that well trained.
No.
So what's the situation with me and Reg?
I mean,
he's not at that level of.
he's not quite there yet. No.
I didn't think so. That's every time I try and train him.
Could it be possible to construct a tracking dart and have an expert sniper deliver that to that person's personage?
I don't know. You just ask our.
What's that?
If we could, we're not talking about. Well, are we on congregation talking? Or?
Well, we're having a congregation. You seem like you're welcome to join us.
Yeah, I'll join in with that. Are you on the dance floor? Are you?
No, they're down the bottom. bottom of the map.
Okay, I'll just move around.
Transform now like conspiring over here.
Okay, that's good.
Ishmael over here.
I'll head over to my lord.
Give
Okay.
Ishmael a quick comm.
Come in.
We're
Yeah,
having a
see.
talk.
Can't see the screen. The cat in the way. I will pop over.
Okay.
Get out of the way, fuck's sake. Lay down.
Out of the way, handmaiden.
There you go.
Handmaiden of Darkness.
I'll just make the sign of the equivalent as I approach Vlad and my lord. My lord.
The Emperor's blessings upon you.
Oh, the Emperor's blessings shine down. Lord. That, I'm just going to bow, overly bow, you know, sort of like make a gesture, a grand gesture of like, you know, how great my master is. Yeah, the whole hall to see.
Have you been on the green jelly again?
I must.
Vlad, I'd like you to make a awareness test with a +20, please.
Out of the way. No, don't sit on the laptop. Stupid.
I think I might.
A nice view for you. There you go.
Yeah. Screen vision.
No?
There, mate.
Okay.
You sat in front of me. I
Cool.
can't see anything. I'll touch the laptop.
Pale and ass. Green.
Move. Move to the side.
No, I failed and used fate point. I failed.
Yeah, okay.
Sit down.
Anything else you guys are discussing in this little huddle you've formed?
Yeah, I wanted to say about sort of, is there any way we could deliver a tracking device, or I'd potentially deliver a tracking device, perhaps in the form of a donation?
I have spare parts back in with my stuff, and they could potentially be the right spare parts for a tracking device.
You also have access to Lord Stroph's manor,
Yes.
and he would have communication equipment, things like that. You could probably rig something up.
Yeah.
I think we need surveillance on the council.
Would it be possible for me to go to the toilet and make a spare part? We're not far, are we far from?
It's something that would take a few hours to do, to make a tracking device.
How long's left of the party?
Well, you don't know exactly, but it's currently getting on for almost 11 o'clock, I think. Somewhere around there. So, you know, it's not going to go on all night.
Yeah.
You'd also have a better chance of doing it back at Lord Stroph's manor,
Yeah.
because he does have access to a small workshop.
I mean, if someone could, like, walk about talking to other people and just say how rich Vlad is, maybe he might get approached to donate. Is it worth just talking to random people and just saying how rich you are?
Well, we've got an invite to one of the lower churches via
Yeah.
Derek already, so I think we can just use that as an in, and then make a donation to use Barak's credit card. Maybe get some money out and make an expensive.
Isn't that against the tenants that we've...
Hold on, you wanted a gold-plated fucking...
Eviscerator.
Eviscerator, that's what it's called, yeah, gold-plated bloody eviscerator.
It says not misuse
Oh,
the funds. So,
This is a better use of funds than all the fucking money we spent on the weapons.
I do need some sort of music case for that. just to disguise it. You know what I mean? That'd be that's what I want.
it's all fun and games till someone asks you to jam with them. Okay! Right. Anything else you're discussing?
That's the evil plan. A bit like Desperado, but with a massive fuck off chainsaw.
Yeah, I think I don't think there's anything else we need to discuss. Yeah, I mean I've told them all about
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I guess we can't do too much for the time being.
Okay. While you're doing this, while you're having this chat, is there anyone you'd like to try and listen to or anything like that?
Go on, I'll try and listen while I'm on Baron.
Berenson, Bulderton! Okay, give me an awareness test. It's going to be a -20 because you're quite far away, and that includes your inebriation. So it's -20 in total.
Aha! Not bad roll.
Now, you don't notice anything. Or you don't hear anything. Dick, while this is going on,
I'm raving.
okay, let's have a dance roll for you. Intelligence, -5, I think it was. -10, sorry, and agility, +55.
Whoa!
You remember the dance. You suddenly remember the proper dance.
55 agility, yeah.
Yeah, +55. Which is just preposterous. And you carry it out with aplomb. Lady Anastas Redstream.
Has just streamed.
She's just streamed all over the place.
Live stream.
You are, however, committing a rather large breach of etiquette right now. And she does seem a little embarrassed, but she's going along with it, mainly because she feels a bit awkward.
Good.
Where are we? She says, "Oh my, what grace, what style, what poise. Tell me, do all protectors on Finksworld know how to dance so well?"
Well, it is necessary to have good footing and good dance moves if you want to be a good combatant. Grace makes skill.
I suppose so. I must say I don't know much about that sort of thing.
Oh, fine. Good dancers are usually good fighters.
Okay. She seems quite taken with Dick. I want everyone except Dick to make an awareness test. Sight-based.
So that'll be -10.
Some hard fails coming in here.
Don't think I've passed one yet, have I?
No, I don't think so. Vlad?
Sorry, Dave, what am I?
Awareness test, please. Sight-based awareness test. I'll do one for Mira while you're doing that. Mira doesn't notice anything on an 88. So, Ramsey. I've done one for Mira anyway, so yeah. Ramsey, you notice Dick is dancing with Lady Anastasia Redstream. She seems quite intrigued, quite impressed. It's almost like she's maybe on the edge of flirting with Dick, but she's being held back because of her station as a noble. You also notice, while this is going on, as Lord Verence and Lord William Boulderdown dance, that Lord Boulderdown keeps occasionally glancing across at Dick and Lady Redstream with a bit of a look of concern on his face. Not hostile towards Dick or anything, just maybe he's a bit jealous. Everybody make a awareness test, please. Sight-based awareness test, everyone, yep. And this will have a particular modifier to it, which I will tell you.
Wait.
It's a -10.
Or -20.
1 degree of success for me then.
Okay.
And
Come on, Ed.
oh,
Yeah. You definitely noticed this. Okay. Ramsey, you notice Julia and Cyprit Danine I mean, a lot of people here have had quite a lot to drink by now. But you notice them disappear together, hand in hand, out of one of the doors. Deracles, you also notice this, and you hear them giggling, and you even catch, briefly, the sound of Julia Strauss going, "Siprit, you're so naughty." And they disappear through one of the doors together.
Party time.
Okay, time is it? 5 to 10?
Party in the Cypriots pan.
Dick! Dick, while you're... Oh no, we've done that, sorry. Okay. Suddenly, you suddenly hear from Lord Verence, who's been dancing with Lord Boulderdown. You hear him yell, "Oh, sorry, no, that's my mistake." Lord Verence has moved suddenly, and he's gone over to Lady Cleves, who's dancing with Maylene Tron over here. Lord Boulderdown's followed, looking a bit concerned. And suddenly, Lord Verence's voice raises, and you hear him say, "I'm not surprised you would stick up for that Midhiver scum," and points his finger at Maylene Tron. "We all know your lineage, Lady Cleves, marrying into your station. You were not born to it like the rest of us here." And Lady Cleves turns and says, "No, my Lord Verence, I was not born into this life. I, unlike you, earned my place."
Hey.
Lord Verence says, "What? How dare you? Do you know to whom you speak? I am a standing member of the court of Lord Governor Hax, and I demand that you show me the proper respect. I command entire armies, and..." "Respect," says Cleves. "Respect, my lord, is earned, not a birthright. And anyone can command." And you notice her accent drops completely, and she drops into Hive Sibyllus Midhive. "But it takes a certain strength of character to lead." She waves one of her bodyguards aside. Mariah has come over, but she waves her away. "Right, that's it," demands Lord Verence. "I demand satisfaction for this insult. Prepare the blood square," he yells. "I nominate Dimitri as my champion." And he gestures to the hulking form of his bodyguard, who is a fucking beast of a man. And he comes striding over. Lady Cleves looks the man up and down and says, "I accept your challenge, Lord Verence. I shall deal with your man personally, and not hide behind a second, like a coward." "What?" screams Lord Verence. "This is an outrage! I demand the fight be to the death!" Suddenly, Lady Borella comes running in out of nowhere, looking horrified, pale, and she says, Now, Lord Verence, I will not have killing in my home. First blood is fine, but..." "Nonsense! Death is the only thing that will give me satisfaction. Death of this Midhiver scum!" And he strides away with his bodyguard. Lady Cleves' bodyguard turns to her mistress and says, this is Mariah, says, "My lady, I cannot in good conscience allow you to fight that man. I will take your place." Lady Cleves laughs, waves a hand and says, "You bloody well will not, Mariah. Lord Verence might be comfortable hiding behind his wealth and mandolins, but I have always and will always fight my own battles. I'll show him how I earn my fucking title, the tough-nosed prick." And you see Mariah grin at her lady's words. They stride away together towards the rear of the ballroom. And as you go, you hear once more the laboured breath of Lady Wendy Cleves as she wheezes and groans with each step. "Oh my," says Lady Borella. "Prepare the blood square, I suppose."
Yeah.
You now have a small amount of time if you'd like to talk to anyone, deal with anything before this happens. Lady Cleves, Mariah, Felice, the other bodyguard, Verence and his men have all disappeared.
I'm gonna go and find this blood square and can you give me directions for the blood square?
Of course you can. Lady Borella gives you instructions deeper into a mansion, and you see there's a host of servants are rushing off there now, and a few of the guards as well, to prepare the blood square.
I'm sorry to let Red sleep, but I must take my leave.
Okay. Where is anyone else going? Anything else anyone's doing?
I'm going to follow Vlad.
Okay.
I like to see this. Like, there's
A medal, I think.
Yes, I will bow very low to the sacred before I go.
Okay. And she
I'll,
offers you the Aquila and curtsies before you.
I'll get a little party plate
Kind
of
of co-father.
take with me and go along.
Okay. Some snacks for his lordship.
Oh, get those onions on.
So, Vlad's going to the blood square, Ishmael's going to the blood square, Mira's going to the blood square with Vlad. Everyone else going to the blood square?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's around half an hour, 40 minutes later that everyone assembles in the blood square. All the lords and ladies enter this room. And as they do, I would like everyone to make a awareness test at -10, please.
Just for change, I think I will.
Hey!
Look at that! 2 degrees of success. The mine is 10.
Who
Face dice.
who haven't we got? Is there any?
Your face.
Is that everyone? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's everyone, I think, isn't it?
I haven't rolled for mirror.
Oh, yeah. Could you roll for Mira, please, as well? So Ed, finally, which is quite funny. Oh, Ed and Mira both noticed this.
Oh, I'm glad that I've made my senses.
Okay, so Mira and Ishmael both notice after about 30, 35 minutes, just as the height of the blood square action is about to begin, Julia Strophs returns. Her hair is a little dishevelled. A couple of minutes later, Cypriot Danin returns. He appears to have buttoned up his shirt wrong. It's not quite tucked in properly, and his clothes are a little wrinkled. In a brightly lit chamber at the rear of the ballroom lies the blood square, and you know from your lessons on etiquette that most mansions in Hive Sibyllus contain a blood square. This is where honour duels are fought, mostly to first blood. It's around 20 feet square, and it's about 3 meters deep at its centre. Lady Cleves stands, stripped down from her fancy ball gown in a simple dark grey jumpsuit. She holds in her hand a thin-bladed rapier, which she casually holds to one side as she watches her opponent. Lord Verence's bodyguard tosses his jacket, clearly armoured, into one corner of the pit and begins flexing his powerful arms, stretching his muscles into readiness. And his arms and chest are ripped. He's built like a guardsman, a very strong guardsman. He stands well over 6 feet tall. The man picks up his own blade, identical to the one that Lady Cleves wields. Lady Borella stands at the side of the blood square, holding a strip of red cloth. And she says, "I do wish you would reconsider, Lord Verence. First blood is ample to prove one's point in such matters." Verence, standing on the edge of the blood pit. Blood pit. It's taken a different turn. Lord Verence sways. His eyes are bleary, and he slurs slightly as he speaks. Takes a sip of wine from a goblet, sloshing it about before him, says, "Absolutely not. Lady Cleves has insulted my honour, and she will be put to the blade for it." Lady Cleves says, "I agree, and I insult your honour again by calling you a coward once more by having this man fight in your place." And she points at the bodyguard, who shrugs and brings his blade up into a fighting stance. Lady Cleves just stands there, blade held casually by her side. Sorkat Althwaite appears alongside you all and says, "Now this shall be interesting." He points at Lord Verence's man, former member of the Protectorate, so I'm told, a drill sergeant, veteran of the Domian Rebellion, the Lady Cleves. Apparently she was once a member of Lord Cleves' household guard, defended the Lord from some gang on an ill-fated trip down Hive. Rumor is they found her propping up the Lord atop a pile of gangers' bodies. He married her off to his son as a reward for her services. Lady Borella drops the cloth. It flutters down to the blood square, spiraling and twisting in slow motion. Both combatants watch as it ponderously makes its way down. And the second it hits the earthen floor, the bodyguard of Lord Verence darts forward, his blade held in a duelist's grip, and Lady Cleves just stands and waits. The huge man lashes out, a deft strike aimed straight at the noble woman's eye, and Lady Cleves dodges ridiculously fast to one side. Around the blade, her own blade still held low, she lashes out with her free hand, striking the man across the jaw, and you see his head snap back with a surprised look on his face. Lady Cleves takes a step back. The man turns to face her. His blade sweeps around in a tight arc, and Lady Cleves ducks, punching out once more into the man's knee. He yells in pain, drops down onto his knees. Lady Cleves steps back once more. There's no need for you to die. Submit, and I will show mercy. The man grunts and snarls, thrusts himself upwards, throwing a wild swing with the blade that Lady Cleves turns aside with her own blade with an effortless flick of the wrist. Then jabs, once, twice, 3 times with her free hand into the man's face. Blood bursts from his nose. "What are you doing?" screams Lord Verence. "Kill her!" The bodyguard glances briefly up at his master, before hauling himself once more wearily to his feet. His guard comes up. He hunkers down low. The blade flashes in the dim light. He launches blow after blow at Lady Cleves, each one more furious than the last, and Cleves alternates between dodging and deftly parrying, stepping back and back with each strike. And you can hear her laboured breath, her lungs wheezing loudly. With a roar, the bodyguard hurls himself at Lady Cleves, and she steps nimbly aside, throwing a vicious right cross across the side of the man's head with the hand holding the rapier, striking him in the temple. On the return stroke, the blade carves deep into the man's calf. He yells in pain and collapses to the ground, his blade tumbling from his grasp. Lady Cleves steps forward, the blade hovering an inch from his face. "Submit," she says. The bodyguard shakes his head, glances at Lord Verence. "I'm afraid I can't do that, my lady. My kind has their own code of honour." "Very well," rasps Lady Cleves, and she slides the tip of the blade neatly through the man's eye and deep into his brain. The assembled lords and ladies gasp. Lady Borella stumbles and faints. Sorka Althwaite rushes to her aid.
I'm going to applaud.
Yeah. I'll join in.
Good show. Good show.
Lady Cleves drags the blade back out of the man's skull and tosses it onto the ground, next to the bodyguard's body as he goes limp. She whirls around and stares up at Lord Verence, who looks shocked and outraged. And she says, "Once again we do this dance, Verence. There is your satisfaction." And then she mocks him with an over-the-top bow and turns and begins to walk away. Verence is positively burning with rage. He turns from the blood square and strides away with his entourage of bodyguards in tow. "Oh my, how awful!" says Lady Borella as she comes round. Julia, standing by our side, says, "Throne, she's done it again." Lord Althwaite also stood by and says, "I told you, Lady Cleves is not a woman to be trifled with."
Cleves by name, Cleves by nature.
Yep. Over the next 20 minutes or so, the body is dragged away. In her shock, Lady Borella begins to wind down the party. Julia leads you from the party back out to the waiting Aquila shuttle, which is flown expertly by Sergeant Wallace back to Stroph's Manor. Back at the Stroph's Manor a couple of hours later, getting on for around 2 a.m., Julia leads you into the house, says, "My, what an exciting, interesting night. I hope you gained something of interest or use." She leads you into the study where Lord Lawrence Strophs, who didn't attend the party because he had his own engagement, sits, sipping a glass of Amasec. Says, "Ah, daughter, you return. How was your little soiree?" "Bloodier than expected, father," says Julia. "Bloody? Oh my! Haven't blown your cover already, have you?" he says to you guys.
I'm gonna look at Jericho.
My lord.
No, I'm not gonna say.
Julia says, "Lady Cleves killed another one of Lord Verence's men, father." And he goes, "Good for her. Never liked that pompous old prick. So, what have we learned? Anything juicy on the choir?"
He's been most been right.
"Excellent, excellent. I look forward to hearing about it." Julia butts in and says, "Anyway, father, why are you back so early? I didn't expect you until the small hours." Lord Lawrence Strophs, a little bit pissed at this point again, says, "Bah, bloody show was cancelled, wasn't it? Could have bloody well informed me, the bastards. Apparently, the star of the show has gone missing." "Oh dear," yells Julia. "Quintius Thespis? Missing?" "Yes, word is, he's been acting off for a while, hanging around with the wrong sort, drugs, drinking, gabbling, women, whoring, the whole shebang, and then one day, poof, gone." "Well, that is a shame, father. He was rather talented. I saw him perform Drusus and Angvin once, did it as a one-man show, played both lead parts, simultaneously. He was incredible," says Julia with a dreamy look on her face. "Yes," says Laurent. "People say it was his greatest role."
They say Julia, no one's interested in.
"Anyway, I'm off to bed. I'll see you all in the morning," he slurs as he stumbles off towards his bedroom. Sorry, I had to get in a Quintius quote. Sorry. I've been planning that for 3 months, I think.
I'm gonna ask Julia. If anybody else get me some this strange drug. Wow,
This Farcosia you've heard of. I did. I didn't actually know at the time what you were talking about, I'll be honest. But anyway, I did a bit of digging with my good friend Cyprid, and he knew what it was. And she reaches into her handbag and she pulls out 2 of the small green jelly shots. Dick and Dericles. It's been a few hours since you last partook of this drug. And when you see the drug before you, oh my God, you want it. You feel like you maybe need it. I need you both to make a willpower test at +30.
+30.
Mm-hmm. And your -10 for your previous inebriation has worn off by now, so it would be a full +30.
I'm okay.
Can I roll that fake point?
You can?
Do it. Yay.
You resist the urge to snatch it from Julia's hand as she passes it to Vlad.
So, cat claws in my leg.
You manage to stop yourself taking it, but you don't know how long you're going to be able to resist. Dick and Dericles are now both addicted to Farcosia.
Well, I thought we got a willpower test on it.
That was to resist taking it right now. to snatch out someone's hand, but you are both addicted,
Wow.
which is going to be so much fun. However, Julia hands you, Vlad, these 2 shots.
You've done well.
Where's my notes gone?
Where are your notes,
Julia has lost her notes. Oh, I'm in the wrong fucking page. I'm in the wrong... But I've got so many fucking things going on here. Okay. No, this isn't the right page. Be gone. Oh, what a fucking massive cunt. Wow. I'm in completely the wrong place. So, Vlad. As you take these 2 shot glasses, I would like you to make an awareness test with a plus 20 to your. Sorry, it'd be a perception test with a plus 20 to your perception, please. It'll have worn off by now. It's been a good few hours since you had a drink. This is your first close proximity to this green jelly, this Farcosia, the drug you've heard about. And you're glad. You're really glad that you didn't take this or come anywhere near it while you were undercover in the mansion. You realise that this drug has a warp signature about it. I would like you to make a willpower test at plus 10.
Okay, hands up if you've eaten the warp jelly.
He said it was warm, though.
Can I
Don't
hold
think he's eaten it
those
twice.
samples for you, my love?
Sorry, what's
I'll take good care of
Willpower at plus 10, please. Oh dear. Alan? Alan, I would...
We only need 1 sample, don't we?
I would like to check Facebook Messenger, please, Alan.
That's always a good sign.
When the corruption seeps in.
It's alive. It's alive. It's alive.
You recognise various different types of warp signature. You know that objects can have a warp signature left on them if they've been in the warp, if they've been in contact with a demon, or maybe even a powerful psyker. This is different. This is the kind of warp signature that you would be able to detect from a living human psyker. You take 1 insanity point, Alan. You were lucky. You would have taken an insanity point for each degree of failure. So you were lucky to only just fail.
I'm getting up there on the party. I'm going to say, Arcosia Green, people.
I did wonder if anyone would pick up on that reference. Well done.
Right, so, they're turning the psychers. Now we know what they're doing. They're turning them into jelly. For fun.
Jelly is fun.
Okay.
It's psychers in here.
Like Robocop 2.
So, it's quite late at night now, or early in the morning, depending on which way you look at it. We'll leave it here. We'll assume everyone goes to bed at this point. We'll pick up the next day in the next session. But you've learned a few things. You've learned a little bit about what Farcosia might be. You've learned the Alabaster Court has many churches throughout the Mid and Upper Hive. You've gained I think the Mid Hive invite was for anyone, by the way. Councillor Court basically said, anyone can go. You've also learned about the Alabaster Court, which seems to be run by the big cheese of this cult, but it's invite only. But there's a way of acquiring invites, or there's more than one way. You can go on someone else's invitation, or you can buy your way in. You've also learned a few other bits and pieces about the Trench War and things like that. And I'll do a summary of everything that I'll add into the files in Roll20 for you. We'll pick up next time. The intel that I've given you, I've created various files. I've created a folder in Roll20 called Archived Intelligence. This is general things like data slates, books, diaries that you've recovered since the beginning of the game. There's all sorts of shit in there. You have heard it all, and it has been included when it's been relevant. If you ever want to read any of that, it's all available to you. There might be the odd thing that even I've missed in there. You've also got in the subfolder called Plot. There's multiple things. There's collected evidence, current, and collected evidence overall. Overall is from the beginning of the game onwards. Everything you have learned about everything that's useful will be in there. Collected evidence, current, will be everything you've learned about the current mission. It might not all be relevant. It might be clues as to stuff that happened elsewhere. It might be references to things that have or haven't happened yet. Not everything in there will be relevant to the current mission. Obviously, Dramatis Personae is the list of everyone you've ever met. Your objectives will be based on a mission or your overarching mission. There's also a file in there now called Who is Theodosia, which is every mention of Theodosia you've come across. And there's also in a subfolder called Player Information, Sources of Intel, which is everything you learned from your downtime on Scintilla. You've all got access to different resources within the Inquisition and various other organisations. There's going to be some new stuff goes in there based on the people you've met in the party, because you know some of them quite well connected now or know certain things. Those people are going to be in there. You can try and approach them. Any people in those lists. Obviously, some of them will be easier to access than others. If you walk around going, I'm with the Inquisition, you're probably going to get access to them. But you're also walking around going, I am the Inquisition. So there's a downside to that. But the people you've met at the party, for example, some of them have expressed interest in inviting you places or things like that. These are all sources of intel that you can call on whenever you want in the future, moving forward with the game. And this is the point where the game is beginning to open up now. I'm taking you off the rails a bit and giving you a lot more freedom in how you proceed with stuff. I'll also be writing a little guide for you on certain things, which will come into play later. But on that note, I know Ed's at work in the morning, and so am I. We'll leave it there.
Have a good week, guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've got to wait. Good game.
Good game, guys.
It's been good. It's been fun.
Take care. See you soon.
See you soon.
See you later.
Bye.